Give me a 30-second countdown, Michael, when we're at the 30-second mark. Denny, you have from the southern tip of Somerset County. Homer Center Wildcat football from Meyersdale tonight in the annual crossover weekend. The Wildcats' first ever meeting with the Meyersdale Red Raiders. Hello again, everybody. With Ward Hilliard, I'm Mark Burdick, coming to you from our S&T Bank broadcast booth at Meyersdale High School. Very nice press box here as we get set for Homer Center football week number 10. Ward, for a lot of reasons, it's been a disappointing season, but the Wildcats can qualify for the playoffs once again with a victory here tonight. Win and they get in. They guarantee themselves berth in the playoffs.
Well, that's the goal right now. I mean, the season is kind of lost. They had aspirations of winning the conference. Of course, that didn't happen. But they would like to get into playoffs, and they would like to heal up a little bit. And they did get Riley Clevenger back, so that's a step in that right direction.
We welcome you to our ITT pregame show from Meyersdale. And Riley Clevenger knocked out last week in the first series defensively, never did take a snap offensively. So the Wildcats not only had lost their first-string quarterback, their second-string quarterback. At that point, it was their third-string quarterback. Enter Braden Dunn, and I thought he did a remarkable job.
He did a very good job coming in cold the way he did. He throws the ball well, Mark, and he's certainly a candidate to fill that position perhaps next year. But that's then, and this is now, and this is what the team needs to do, is win here and then worry about who you're matched up with after tonight.
So you're creating a quarterback controversy with Angelo Alexander already.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying we got to have two healthy quarterbacks, and that might be the way to go.
So the Wildcats, just to kind of do a reset on their season, they opened up with back-to-back wins over United Valley and River Valley before dropping 2 games in a row at Penns Manor and West Shamokin in that wild 56-50 loss. They went on the road in Week 5 and beat at what was at that point an undefeated Northern Cambria team 13-7. Lost in the final minute to Portage 28-24. Then lost at Cambria Heights 31-12 when Alexander was injured again. McAnulty was already out of the picture at that point. Found a way to win, ground one out against Marion Center 13-10, and then a tough loss, a pick six, the difference in the third quarter a week ago against the Purchase Line Red Dragons, losing 14-12, despite the fact that they held Purchase Line to 124 yards of total offense. A.J. Chambers' 35-yard interception return proved to be the difference.
There were 3 to 4 of those games Homer could have won. They lost a couple in the last minute. They just kind of imploded last week with the interception return. They had a touchdown, but there was a holding penalty, brought that back. So they could have conceivably won 3 or 4 more games. So this is a good team. They just got to put it on the field, and I think that's what the coaching staff was working at this week.
We'll talk about Meyersdale, too, and we'll hear from head coach Greg Page. And if you're watching, you'll see the interview with head coach Greg Page. We'll also delve into the playoff situation and the various scenarios that exist for Homer Center and other teams, quite frankly, in the Heritage Conference. Meyersdale, they entered tonight's game with a 2-6 record. They had a bye week on September the 2nd. They did not play. And it's been feast or famine for Meyersdale. They've lost big on some occasions. They defeated Brownsville, winless Brownsville, 69-0. But they've been on the receiving end of shutouts to powerful Berlin. They're undefeated. They lost to them 49-0 in Week 2. They lost to North Star 41-0. They were shut out by the Windber Ramblers 57-0. Last week, though, kind of interesting against Mo Valley, the 6th seed in District 6 entering the weekend. They were up on them in the game and played them tough to the second half, but then it kind of got away from them, and they ended up giving up 63 points, losing 63-30.
Pretty fragile, huh? I mean, it's a team that as long as they can stay with you, they're okay, but if something happens and the break goes the other way, it just seems like there's a collapse. And that's what happens when you have a team like this coming in. You know, they're not real strong. If they make mistakes, it really bites them. So they're certainly a threat. The Wildcats can't take them lightly, and it's always been a pretty fair program out here. So, you know, you got to be aware of that, and I'm sure Coach Page was telling his boys that.
Meyersdale celebrating their 100th season of football this year. They are coached by Ryan Donaldson in his 5th season. He started in 2018. He's 18-30 overall. Obviously, the first meeting against Homer Center, these two teams have never met through the years, and my history dates back to 1923. Greg Page in his 16th season, a 109-66 record. And needless to say, I think it's been taxing, very stressful, challenging season for Coach Page and his staff dealing with all of these injuries.
I'm certain when the season started, they didn't anticipate all of that. I know they didn't, and it does work on you after a while. And we could see it in Coach Page's eyes when he come up to do the interviews. He just shell-shocked in some cases. But as I said, this is still a good group. They can get their defense tightened down and they try to stay healthy on the offensive end. You never know. They're that good, but they've got to show it on the field, and that's what we're looking for. It's kind of a springboard game here to take them into the playoffs.
We're going to come back and chat a little bit more before we get to head coach Greg Page's interview. We'll come back to Meyersdale in our S&T Bank broadcast booth when the ITT pregame show continues. The Wildcats and the Meyersdale Red Raiders, and you're listening and watching right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
I'm Jake Slobodnik with today's trip around the Heritage Conference driven by Luther Ford Lincoln in Homer City. We're one day removed from the start of crossover weekend, and the Heritage Conference is up 1-0 over the WestPAC and independent schools. In our U92 game of the week last night, the Marion Center Stingers kicked off festivities with a monstrous 34-8 win over the Claysburg-Kimmel Bulldogs. Tonight's games feature a couple win and in games. In one, the Homer Center Wildcats do battle with the Meyersdale Red Raiders. Mark Burdig has the call at 6:15 on WCCS and on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayson Coral Sportsman's Club. The other game features the Purchase Line Red Dragons, who hold the 8th spot in the District 6. They look to move on with a win over Bald Eagle. On Cat Country 106.3, the River Valley Panthers look to end the season with their first win over the Everett Warriors. Airtime is 6:30. And other games on the slate for tonight include a battle between two former WestPAC rivals as the Portage Mustangs take on the Windber Ramblers, Northern Cambria takes on Conemaugh Township, and the Cambria Heights Highlanders face Northern Bedford. Action then picks up tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. when the United Valley Lions take on the Conemaugh Valley Blue Jays, and it all leads up to the Appalachian Bowl in the nightcap, where Penns Manor looks to hand Berlin Brothers Valley its first loss while claiming the Appalachian Bowl crown. We will have coverage of the Appalachian Bowl starting at 6:30 on Cat Country 106.3 FM and video streaming on Renda Digital TV, presented by Tate's Supermarket and the Climber Slovak Club. That's a look at tonight's trip around the Heritage Conference. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and supported Heritage Conference football this season. We hope you enjoyed tonight's slate of games, and make sure to follow along on all of our Renda Media websites and Facebook pages for updates throughout the night. I'm Jake Slobodnik, and I'll see you next time.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall, located on the grounds of the Grayson Coral Sportsman's Club, features an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage and refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a brand new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The Twin Cities Event Hall is perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings, located off Route 119 in Grayston on Neal Road. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
Looking for one of the coolest new products in the market, or maybe looking for that unique Christmas present? Psst, it will cure your pain at the pump.
SeaWorld Satellites is now offering the Go Express e-bike, made for the urban commuter and weekend adventurer, combining city cruising and all-terrain riding. From pavement to hills, streets to sand, take your Go Express bike to your next meeting or exploration. This e-bike can run up to 18 miles in electric mode. To look at or take a test ride, come to SeaWorld Satellites on Wayne Avenue in Indiana.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
I'm Shannon Lipniskis. Hutton Blues Insurance of Indiana is proud to support high school football.
I'm Jay Blues. You can't beat football season, and when it comes to your insurance needs, you won't beat the service we provide at Hutton Blues Insurance.
Our family business has served Indiana and the surrounding counties for more than 3 decades.
Once you do business with Hutton Blues Insurance, we'll make you a customer for life.
So best of luck, area teams, from your friends at Hutton Blues Insurance in Indiana.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Are you thinking about getting vaccinated?
With you in our S&T Bank broadcast booth as our ITT pregame show continues here on WCCS and on Renda Digital TV. By the way, if you'd like to watch tonight's game, just go to WCCSradio.com and look for the link to tonight's broadcast here on WCCS and on the video stream. You can also go to YouTube.com and in the search engine, dial in search engine Renda Digital TV. Word that crossover weekend, you never say never, but at least for the foreseeable future, this is going to be the end of the road for it because the demise of the WestPAC conference with a couple of teams already coming over. Next year it'll be Conemaugh Valley, Conemaugh Township. So they're going to do away with that and the Appalachian Bowl. I asked Coach Page about it. You'll hear his comments in just a little while. What about your own?
Well, it was good at its time, but I think this conference has gotten so strong, people want to come into it, Mark, so it's growing, and you got to grow with it. So as much as we like the Appalachian Bowl, it's kind of served its purpose, and it's time to move on. It's going to be exciting next year how they do all of that. I'm not going to go into that now. I need a book here to read just to tell you everything that would be going on for playoffs, but it's going to be a lot more exciting than we even have this year.
Homer Center, in the 5 years that they have played since they brought the Appalachian Bowl back with the crossover weekend, they are 4-1. Their lone loss last year in that heartbreaker to Berlin Brothers Valley, 13-12. They lost back-to-back one-point games to a good Muncie team the week before. Meyersdale 1-4. Homer Center beat Berlin in 2016, 33-10. Overtime victory, 20-14 over Portage in 2017. It was that win that I thought at the time really propelled Homer Center to bigger and better things like For example, it'll never get old saying it, ending Bishop Guilfoyle's 59-game winning streak. They were the 4-time defending state champions. They defeated Windber at Windber Stadium 35-15. Shade Panthers in 2019, 16-15. No game in 2020 due to the pandemic. And then last year, as I mentioned, the 1-point loss to Berlin Brothers Valley. Meyersdale's 1-4 in crossover games. 41-26, they lost to Northern Cambria in 2016. Also lost to Cambria last year, 26-6. 2017, lost to West Shamokin, 32-18. Next year, Shamokin again, 28-0. Their lone victory came at Marion Center in 2019 by a score of 24-14. And really, Ward, it's been Heritage Conference dominance since they started this concept. They have defeated the WestPAC, going 38-10. 8-2 in 2016, 6-4 in 2017, a perfect 10-0 in 2018, 8-2 in 2019, and then 6-2 last year. United, one of the 9 teams in the Heritage that did not play in Week 10.
The thing of it is, it is the lower tier teams in the Heritage that are much stronger than the WestPAC. I mean, they are very competitive within their own conference rather than across the way to the WestPAC, and they demonstrated that by winning those games. The top tier, they kind of balanced each other out, but by and large, Heritage has dominated, as you said, Mark, and that, I think, is one of the reasons it became so appealing to some of these other teams.
38-10 is dominance. Appalachian Bowl tomorrow night. Renda Digital TV will have that, as well as on radio, Cat Country 106.3, a battle of unbeatens, Penns Manor and Berlin. Lee Norvelli won the first 4 Appalachian Bowls. I'd say they did it in convincing fashion, outscoring their opponents by a combined 200-14. A couple of shout-outs last year, I should say. Windber turned the tide on the Heritage, winning the Appalachian Bowl. Also in a shutout, 42-0 over Cambria Heights. Should be an interesting matchup tomorrow night.
Yeah, it always is. It's going to be a struggle for the Comets. That is a very strong team they're going to be playing from Berlin, and I'm sure they're aware of it, but you just never know. Some good athletes, both sides of the ball.
And we are very happy at Renda Media. I don't know if John will get this. I'm sure he will. The Penns Manor Comets today received souvenir T-shirts from Renda Media. There you go, Ward. Take a look at that. Has both helmets on it with the cable in front. But yeah, we presented Penns Manor with some souvenir T-shirts to commemorate their 9-0 season. See Todd, he may have one for you tomorrow.
Todd, okay, we'll do that.
All right, coming back with head coach Greg Page when our ITT pregame show continues from Meyersdale. It's the 2-6 Red Raiders hosting the 4-5 Homer Center Wildcats. We're going to come back with Coach Page when we continue right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
Are you thinking about getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would also like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
Hi, my name name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right, London. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 5 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, an equal opportunity employer.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Welcome back to Meyersdale High School as our ITT pregame show continues on WCCS and Renda Digital TV. Time for the head coach Greg Page show, brought to you by Wildcat Insurance in Homer City. Thank you, Rob Wildcat, for your support of our coaches' interviews all season long. You can visit Wildcat Insurance online as well at wildcatinsurance.com. Coach, first time for everything. My records say that it's the first time the Wildcats will play the Red Raiders in school history, and unfortunately you've had to make the long trip here tonight.
Yeah, well, like we talked in the other interview, there's quite a few trips being made this weekend with heritage teams going to these ICC or independent teams, so to speak. So, hey, we're happy to be playing. I told our kids it's another opportunity against an opponent we're not familiar with. Maybe a little more excitement with that regard.
And a lot on the line. If you lose, you still have a shot to get into the playoffs, but you'd be backing in. You want to win. Season has not gone the way everybody would have hoped for a myriad of reasons that we've pretty well documented. But if you win, you do earn your way in.
Yeah, and I really think that's the way to go. It's tough. Football is such a momentum game, and you play once a week, and you have that mindset. It's been back and forth for us. We've played good football at times. We have to be playing better football now, tonight, for this game, and then, hopefully moving forward, and that's where you want to be. So if you want to say something on the regards, it's must win. I would agree with that.
Greg, it's the end of the crossover weekend, if you will, and this year different because of the WestPAC's demise. They had to bring in inter-county teams and Bald Eagle even to fill out the 10 versus 10 concept. The Appalachian Bowl tomorrow night with Penns Manor and Berlin. I don't want to say we'll never come back because you never say never, right? But what are your thoughts on the crossover weekend, how it played out, and are you sorry to see it end?
I have mixed feelings about it. When it was first introduced and everybody had a full boat on both sides of the conference, I thought it was a really good thing. It brought back some excitement from the 80s and early 90s with the old Appalachian Conference and that championship game. Now obviously it's a drawback because the WestPAC is diminished in the number of teams, and we're trying to find different teams from really, quite frankly, very far away to fulfill the obligation. And secondly, when you get in a situation now, especially with the highest seeded teams, the teams winning the conference, the Heritage and WestPAC, Berlin and Penns Manor, there's no more bye, at least on the District 6 side. So you're winning your conference, now you're going to go try to win the Appalachian Bowl. It's going to be a headbanger because they're both really good teams. And then you have to turn around and be ready to play a district quarterfinal game next week. I think that makes it a little bit tougher. On the surface, though, I think overall it's been a positive thing.
All right. Let's talk about tonight's game. First things first, quarterback situation. Last week, your third stringer who replaced your first stringer, or second stringer who replaced your first stringer, and then you know how that goes. Riley Clevenger did not even take a snap. He was hurt defensively. What's his situation?
He's going to go. He was able to see a doctor over the weekend to really get some strength and mobility back in that ankle. And, it is what it is. He's a tough kid, too. And, I know he wouldn't want to miss, and he was saying in the second half last week, hey, I can go. It really wasn't practical for him to try to do that. Braden Dunn comes in. He's an athlete. He's a smart kid. He's one of the kind of kids that we love in our program, and he came in and just really did a great job. I mean, it was just incredible if you think about it, given the fact that his reps were very, very limited in a team fashion and a little bit in a passing circuit and inside run. So they're both available. I tried to see if you had any eligibility left, if you wanted to be number 5, but
I'm a wishbone only type of cue.
Hand it off. But Isaiah Bentz has informed me that our big 6'5", 280-some pound tackle, he's informed me that he's available for duty as well if we would need him.
Well, that's really encouraging, let me tell you. Now, with Cole McInalty, your senior, and Angelo Alexander, because I get this asked to me all the time, have you ruled them out even for the playoffs?
They are ruled out, yes.
Meyersdale, the opponent tonight. Talk about them and the challenge in front of you.
Well, we got 2 films on them. One, they really, really did a nice job beating Brownsville pretty bad. And then they battled Mo Valley, and then Mo Valley got a couple scores early in the second half, or actually the fourth quarter. And Meyersdale was forced to try to come back and threw a few picks. So I thought, Mo Valley's the 6th seed in our district in Class A, and Meyersdale had a lead on them at one point. Thought it was a really good game, and I'm concerned. I think they have athletes on offense and both sides, and they can be dangerous. I mean, we have to play a complete 4-quarter game.
They're brothers, one a senior, one a junior. Dalton and Drake Sellers, they both play quarterback. Perhaps Dalton more of a runner, but he's also got 16 receptions when they put his brother Drake in at quarterback. So number 2 and number 3, you'll have to keep your eye on them.
Yeah, it looks like the one likes to throw to his brother, but that's because they're both good athletes. And, the one that does both quarterback and run routes reminds me of a tall, skinny guy we had, Johnny Ireland, Johnny I as we called him, and he was a really good athlete. So that's a kid to be concerned with, and they'll run some jets, and they'll roll their quarterback out. And, it's a dangerous thing. You just have to be able to defend the whole field. That's high school football nowadays for the most part. So they're going to get the ball and try to get the ball in their athletes' hands, and we got to do a good job defending it.
Coach, finally, with the playoffs in mind and also the season not going as expected due to injuries, mainly at the quarterback position and maybe the defense failing you a little bit this year, what about the mindset of the team?
I'm always aware of how that is or how it seems, because that's, I think, such a big part of high school sports, kids in general. I like the way we've been practicing. We have kids, for the most part, we have kids that are coming every day and battling and enjoying practice. I love practice. I know that sounds crazy to the kids, but I think that's where I really get the most enjoyment out of this. The games they just wear on your nerves, especially this year. But that's only because of the scores, not because of the kids. The kids have been great. I mean, I hope their mindset is, here's the next opportunity. We're getting down somewhere near the end. Hopefully we have some more weeks left in us, but I hope their mindset is, we have an opportunity in front of us. Let's go play hard. Let's go play together with our brothers, as they always say, and try to go get another win and make some good things happen. I mean, it's just, to me, if you're not going to go all in with this sport especially, you're not in the right place. So hopefully their mindset is in a good place.
Okay, finally, you ready to be put on the spot?
Go ahead.
Tomorrow, Appalachian Bowl, 2 undefeated teams, Penns Manor, Berlin Brothers Valley. Give us a prediction.
Well, we're going to end up playing Penns Manor in future years, so is Doug Paul going to hear this interview or no, from Berlin?
Only if he's watching the game tonight.
Okay, he's probably not. He's probably scouting. I really don't know. I know Berlin beat Winber in a good game, and they pretty much torched everybody else. Penns Manor had a lot of lopsided games. I'm going to side with my Heritage brethren. And I respect Doug Paul and his staff. What a great program.
I knew I shouldn't have asked you this, mister. You're running for office.
I'm going to waffle here. But no, I'll give the nod to Penns Manor, because they're our allies in the conference and everything. But I would not be surprised if Berlin won that game. They're very, very good.
Coach, thanks for doing this. I won't ask you for a prediction on the Wildcats because
you're going to ask something else, so I'm glad you didn't.
I'll be curious to find out off mic what that is. He's Greg Page. I'm Mark Burdig. Our Coach's Report brought to you by Wildcat Insurance in Homer City. Coming back with more on our ITT pregame show after this on the Renda Media Football Network. Now, what were you going to tell me?
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
Looking for fun for the entire family? White Township Recreation is now the hub for all of your youth and adult recreation programming. Programming is now open online for registration. White Township Rec offers anything from art classes to gymnastics to bowling to boxing, fitness classes, and much, much more. For more information on public skating, including birthday parties and recreation programs, please visit whitetownshiprec.org. That's whitetownshiprec.org. See you at Public Skate, S&T Bank Arena.
Recently voted Best Landscaping Company in Indiana County, Johnston Nursery Landscaping has been serving the area since 2002 in all phases of landscaping. J&L's primary focus is year-round property maintenance, driveway seal coating, excavation, and wholesale and retail Christmas tree sales. Let J&L take away the hassle of fall leaf cleanup and also help with those fall landscaping projects. It's a great time of year to work on those beautiful home projects. Check them out on Facebook. Johnston Nursery Landscaping.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now, and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, two great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
National anthem being performed by the Meyersdale High School Marching Band. Ward time for the Luther Ford Lincoln keys to the game. Brought to you by Luther Ford. Go with the winner. Go with Indiana County's Ford leader, Luther Ford, Route 119 in Homer City. What do you have for your keys?
Well, they're not going to change a whole lot. The first thing is defense. If you're going to go in the playoffs, you better have a defense, and they better show up here tonight. Quarterback number 2 is a key to their Meyersdale's offense, so they need to stop them. Second thing they need to do is move the ball on the ground, use Landon Hill with Riley in there. That gives them a little better dimension offensively, so they ought to do well there. And finally, get an early lead and keep it. We're tired of chasing. It's time to start getting ahead and staying ahead.
Keys to the game brought to you by Luther Ford Lincoln in Homer City. Ward, you look at the District 6 Class A rankings entering Week 10. Homer Center sits in 7th place, just ahead of Purchase Line, who is just ahead of Glendale. It's basically a 3-team race for those final 2 spots. Glendale tonight is at 3-6 Kerwinsville. Purchase Line, a tall order at Bald Eagle. They're a heavy underdog. And Homer Center, simple, they win, they're in. If they lose, they could still get in if Purchase Line would lose that game at Bald Eagle. But I'm sure Coach Page, as we just heard and saw on the Rendon Digital TV interview, he wants to earn his way in. It's been a tough season with all of the injuries, and a win would feel good and make you feel a lot better about your chances heading into the playoffs next week.
Absolutely. This is a team that we should beat. There's no two ways about that. I think it would be hugely disappointing to not come out of here with a win, Mark.
The standings, Penns Manor, they've sewn up the top seed. They'll be home the first 2 weekends if they can win next weekend. Cambria Heights currently second. Cambria Heights, big order, tall challenge tonight at Northern Bedford, 9-0. Northern Cambria is third. They're at 6-3. Conemaugh Township. That's what I call a toss-up game. I would not be surprised to see Northern Cambria defeat Conemaugh Township and Northern Bedford upend Cambria Heights. That would mean Homer Center would travel to Northern Cambria next weekend.
The place that they not only traveled to but won, beating at that time an undefeated team. So have a little better feeling going into a game like that.
Portage is 6-3. They're in fourth place. They're at Windber tonight. They'll be a heavy underdog. Juniata Valley in fifth place. They are at 6-3. Mount Union. Moshannon Valley, the sixth seed that Coach Page talked about as far as how Meyersdale played them tough for a while last week. They're at 3-6. West Branch expected to win. Homer Center, of course, here at Meyersdale. Purchase Line at Bald Eagle. Glendale at Kerwinsville. So we're going to be getting scores all night long. We should have a pretty good feel for how things are going to play out by the time we sign off of the air. As our ITT pregame show continues on the other side of this break, we will have the starting lineups. Ward Hilliard will give you the Meyersdale starting offense, and then the Homer Center players will give you the Wildcats starting offense. We'll do it that way this week. It's conference crossover weekend, and it's Halloween weekend. You can tell Michael Burdig, our studio engineer, is on his A game because he has the Halloween music out as we go to break. Our spotter in the booth, we're going with the A team and the B team. They can duke it out as far as A and B. We're glad to have them both. Dennis Mester and Jim McLaughlin, our studio engineer, Michael Burdig, our video producer. On the other side of my window, John Smathers. Coming back with the starting lineups, brought to you by Maine's Chiropractic when we continue right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
This is State Senator Joe Pittman, wishing all of our student athletes and their families every success. Friday Night Lights are always exciting, and I recognize how important it is for students to be involved in activities, whether it be in athletics or the performing arts. I salute not only all of our students, but also all who guide them, on and off the gridiron, and I wish all of our hometown teams the best of luck this season.
Looking for one of the coolest new products in the market, or maybe looking for that unique Christmas present? Psst, it will cure your pain at the pump.
SeaWorld Satellites is now offering the Go Express e-bike, made for the urban commuter and weekend adventurer, combining city cruising and all-terrain riding. From pavement to hills, streets to sand, take your Go Express bike to your next meeting or exploration. This e-bike can run up to 18 miles in electric mode. To look at or take a test ride, come to SeaWorld Satellites on Wayne Avenue in Indiana.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Hip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
This is State Senator Joe Pittman, wishing all of our student athletes and their families every success. Friday Night Lights are
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Hip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
adjusting today for a better tomorrow. Ward, first let's give the Meyersdale starting offense.
All right, Mark. Malachi Carr will be at the left end, junior, 6'4", 175. Left tackle is Brady McKenzie, junior, 5'9", 215. Left guard is Zach Summy. He's a junior, 5'10", 172. Landon Ludy is the center, freshman, 6'2", 296. He needs to get on a plan. Anyway, right guard is Dylan Teets, sophomore, 5'9", 226. Chase Blucher is the right tackle, a sophomore, 6 foot, 186. Tight end is Walker Bunnell. He is a junior, 6'2", 170. In the backfield, quarterback will be Dalton Sellers, senior, 6'1", 170. And the running backs, Brian Hetz, a junior at 5'9", 161. And Colin Krause, a senior at 6 foot, 190.
There's your Meyersdale starting offense. Meyersdale averaging just 11 points a game, 132 yards rushing, 87 yards passing. Wildcat offense, 21.4 points a game, 191 yards rushing, 43 passing, 234 per game. And the Wildcat offense and how they will line up, well, we're going to give it to you on WCCS with the players' voices, and on Renda Digital TV, you'll see the players as we go to the Homer Center starting lineup.
Riley Clevenger, senior, quarterback, 5'10", 180 pounds, Wildcat. My name is Will Jones. I'm 5'11", 144 pounds, sophomore. I'm a wide receiver. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite NFL team is Pittsburgh Steelers. My favorite player is Tony Pollard.
I'm a wide receiver, Casey Harper. I'm a senior. I'm 5'8", 162 pounds. My favorite college team is UCF. My favorite pro team is the Eagles, and my favorite NFL player is Jalen Ramsey.
Hello, I'm Mike Pajicic. I'm a wide receiver. I'm a senior. I'm 5'9", 180 pounds. My favorite college team is Notre Dame. My favorite NFL team is the Steelers.
I'm Braden Dunn, running back and receiver. I'm a sophomore, 5'9", 161. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite pro team is the New York Giants, and my favorite NFL player is Saquon Barkley.
Hi, I'm Caleb Palmer. I'm a junior tight end. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite pro team is the Steelers, and my favorite player is DJ Watt.
All right, my name is Javon Jones. I'm a junior. I'm 5'10", 180. I play tight end, and my favorite pro team is the New York Giants on Fodell.
I'm Landon Hill. I play running back. I'm a junior, 6'1", 220 pounds. My favorite college team is Notre Dame, and my favorite NFL player is Ray Lewis.
Hi, my name's Isaiah Benz. I'm a senior left tackle, 6'5", 282. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite NFL team is the Ravens. My favorite player is Rodney Harrison.
I'm Romy Dokos. I play left guard. I'm a senior. I'm 5'10", weigh 210 pounds. Wildcat country, let's ride.
I'm center Joe Succiarelli, 6 foot, 203 pounds. My favorite college team is Penn State. My favorite NFL team is the 49ers. My favorite NFL player is Nick Bosa.
I'm right guard Van Tagliati. I'm a senior, 5'11", 240. My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sure. I'm Mason Bell. I'm a senior. I'm 6'3", 225. Play right tackle. My favorite pro team is the Steelers. My favorite player is Zach Wilson.
And that's the ITT pregame show. Stay with us for the start of tonight's game. It's coming up next right here on WCCS on an IRMC High School Sports Night and on Renda Digital TV, presented by our good friends at the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. That was a heck of a good time last Saturday for the Halloween dance and party at the... That was kind of a spectacular event, wasn't it?
I suppose it was, yes. I did not attend, but I'm sure it was fun.
Opening kickoff up next on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
Stadium. Bell has it teed up for the Homer Center Wildcats. Dalton Sellers, Malachi Carr, Tristan Oler back deep to receive it. And it's a squib kick, and it goes through an up man, and then it's downed at about the 29-yard line. Went right through the wickets of Bryson Hetz. So we'll see where they spot the football.
Looks like about the 29 mark.
29-yard line it is.
Yep, maybe the 30.
So Meyersdale, with their quarterback Dalton Sellers, if he gets to start, he and his brother Drake alternate time. They have bunched receivers to the right, and they give it up the middle to Hetz, and Hetz off the left side, not going anywhere, is he? And Homer Center's leading tackler, Mason Bell, one of the reasons why. Mason Bell, a 6'3", 221-pound senior. Ward, last week he went over the 100 tackle mark, and he has 101 entering the game, make it 102, including his 6th for a loss. That's 6.5 tackles for a loss, to be accurate.
It's been a disappointing season for the defense, but Mason has certainly been one very bright spot in it. He has been spectacular.
Receiver near side is Tristan Oler. He has 6 receptions. He's been a big play receiver, 236 yards. They have jet motion from Dalton Sellers, and Drake throwing underneath, and he has a receiver up over the 30. Nope, they say he dropped the football. He didn't hold on to it at all. That was Dalton Sellers, who started at quarterback. We really didn't get a chance to talk about it on our pregame show, but Dalton and Drake Sellers are brothers. Dalton, a senior, 6'1", 170. Drake, a junior, 6'2", 168. In passing situations, Drake throws more, and they use Dalton as a receiver because he leads them with 16 receptions.
It's kind of like the Dubler boys, huh?
Suds Dubler, yeah.
Remember them from last year?
Yeah, we sure do. They bunch 3 receivers to the right, to the wide side of the field, and Drake Sellers looking, throwing underneath, has a receiver, and going to be short of the chains. Hauling it in was Colin Kraus of the Red Raiders. On the tackle, Will Jones for the Homer Center Wildcats. And Meyersdale goes 3 and out, and they send out the punt team. The punter is Blake Matini. 30 punts for a 30.5-yard average. Braden Dunn, Michael Krajosik back deep. They stand inside their own 35-yard line. The kick is away, a line drive kick. It's not going to be returned, and there you go, Ward. They're giving up 10 or 11 yards again by not fielding that punt, although that was a difficult one to field, and Homer Center will take over when we return. 10:50 remaining in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Homer Center possession when we return on the Renda Media Football Network.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
As we come back, opening possession for Homer Center. First handoff is to Landon Hill, slants off the left side from the 29 to the 32-yard line. Not sure who made that tackle. Riley Clevenger, the quarterback, fakes it to Hill. He's going to keep it, and Riley is going to be hit after a short gain. He gets to the 36-yard line, so it'll set up third and relatively short, a gain of 3. Up off the bottom of the pile for the Meyersdale Red Raiders, Zach Ryan.
A couple of the variety, a couple of the options that Homer has there using Hill. I would look for Landon to get the carry in this particular situation.
Motion man is Braden Dunn, and they fake it to him. Riley's going to keep it and get tackled for a loss. Reading it nicely for the Red Raiders, Colin Kraus. We talked about Landon Hill. Kraus is a good inside linebacker too. He leads Meyersdale with 95 tackles, make it 96, and forces Homer Center to go 3 and out.
That's kind of a disappointing. The line of scrimmage here should be controlled by the Wildcats. Certainly wasn't that time. Good job by Meyersdale.
Krajosic, rugby-style punt, and he does get it away, and it's a shank job. It's high and hits just inside the 50, but it takes a favorable Homer Center roll and goes inside the 35-yard line, where Meyersdale will take over with 9:04 remaining in this first quarter. At IRMC at Chestnut Ridge and Blairsville's Urgicare, they fast-track you for quick access to their team of medical experts. Highly trained and ready to treat all minor injuries and illnesses, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge offers the full spectrum of Urgicare 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Old Route 22 in Blairsville. Get in, get out, get better. A part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. So 2 possessions and 2 3-and-outs, WA.
Yeah, a little surprising perhaps, but long bus ride. We'll give them a break on that first series.
Motion man is Kraus, and they're going to try to run wide. That's Dalton Sellers, and he's going to be tackled for a 6-yard loss. On that tackle for Homer Center, Landon Hill and also Braden Dunn with an assist, and they lose 6 yards. I mentioned Meyersdale only 132 yards rushing per game, 87 yards passing. Sellers, the older brother, the rushing quarterback, he has 100 rushes for 628 yards. His brother Drake, the thrower, he's passed for 335, and he's in there now in the shotgun formation with trips to the right, lone receiver up top. If you're watching, they put Dalton Sellers in motion toward the Homer Center bench. Throws towards Sellers, it's hauled in, and he's tackled right at the 35-yard line. On the far side of the field, Braden Dunn coming up to make that tackle.
About a 4-yard pickup when all was said and done there, Mark.
Drake Sellers threw that ball a long way from the right hash across the field. They mark it at the 34-yard line, so the Red Raiders are faced with 3rd down and 12. 7:50 to go here in the first quarter. Dennis, you know if we're getting media timeouts tonight?
I don't.
Our spotter in the booth, Dennis Mester. Receiver to the right, Tristan Oler. And Sellers looking, going to throw deep, and jump ball intercepted by Michael Krajosic at the 38-yard line. The 37-yard line is where they're going to spot it. So Michael's second interception in as many weeks, and the Wildcats will have the football. 7:32 to play on an IRMC High School Sports Night. We're scoreless on the Renda Media Football Network.
Dan and Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well from your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Up to the 39-yard line. On the tackle, Dylan Teets. So you know, Dennis, the other chart is right here if you want to go that route. On the spots. 2nd down and 8. Landon Hill needs 32 yards entering the game for 1,000 this season. Not too far away from 2,000 either. Casey Harper in motion. They fake the jet to him and firing over the middle and dropping the pass. Braden Dunn right in his hands. He might have taken that the distance if he hauls it in. It was a well-thrown ball by Riley Clevenger, and Braden just lost the handle.
That's well defined there, Mark. That's exactly what happened. Wide open. Nice job getting wide open, but you got to catch the football. He's looking to run before the ball got there.
3rd down and 8 to go. Casey Harper, receiver near side in front of the Meyersdale bench. Slot receivers Will Jones. They have twins up top as well. And shotgun snap. Riley looking, firing, intercepted with the football and running down the left sideline. Ian Brenneman, and he's tackled from behind inside the 20-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Michael Krajosik, and Ian Brenneman with the pick. And they are going to start in the red zone, just under through that football.
Yeah, it looked like it wobbled right out of his hand there that time. And the sad thing is that Homer's not getting their running game going, and they've got to resort to throwing passes already. I can't make the coaching staff too happy. They should be able to dominate, the Wildcats should, that offensive front. They're not doing it. Result of turnover.
6:43 mark. Meyersdale right at the Homer Center 20-yard line. Now, the Homer Center offensive line has been a disappointment, just to be honest about it. They hand it off to the younger Sellers. It's Dalton Sellers that took the handoff from his younger brother, Drake. And not much there. Romy Doko's on the tackle. Actually, no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
We were watching in the pregame, and Meyersdale has an excellent place kicker, so they're probably close enough right now, Mark. They could give that a shot, but they'll see what happens. They got 2 more plays before.
Tristan Oler, the place kicker you're talking about, is 16 of 22 on PATs. He has 1 field goal. It was 32 yards. Receiver near side, but they're going to run it, and it's Dalton Sellers hit and drop, maybe a 1-yard gain to the 19. For Homer Center, Landon Hill on the tackle. They're actually putting it down right at the 20, Ward Hilliard. So 2 plays, no yards for Meyersdale. 5:40 to play. Moving clock in the first quarter. We are scoreless.
They're doing a good job defensively and stopping the run, so it's going to force Meyersdale to throw the ball, and that's not good news for Homer Center. Their secondary has been ripped apart this year.
They allow 124 yards passing per game. That's the worst mark in the Heritage Conference. That despite Purchase Line really not throwing last week. Drake Sellers takes the snap, pressure up the middle, throws, and it's almost intercepted at the 10-yard line. Who was that diving for that football? Braden Dunn. So the Wildcats now force a 4th down and 10, and they do bring out the field goal unit.
And we were watching him. He was putting it out there pretty good.
Long snappers Connor Miller, the holder Blake Martini. And Oler, as I mentioned, 1 field goal, 32 yards. This one will be 36 yards as the holder Martini puts the tee down at the 26. Snap a bit high. He puts the kick down. Plenty of leg. The kick is up, and the kick is good for Oler. A lot of leg. 36-yard field goal gives Meyersdale the lead here in the first quarter with 5:05 remaining in the first quarter. IRMC High School Sports Night coverage continues on WCCS and on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. 3-0 Red Raiders in this first ever meeting between Homer Center and Meyersdale on the Renda Media Football Network.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well from your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
The right sideline. They're not going to catch him. He blows right by a Red Raider, and he takes it the distance. 91 yards. Check that. 89 yards for a Wildcat touchdown. And Michael Krajosik, a special team splash play. And Homer Center has the lead with 4:51 remaining in the first quarter. It's 6-3 Homer Center.
I knew the safety was for Meyersdale, but Michael just gave him a little head move inside, and he kind of hesitated. He blew by him, and there was nothing but green after that. So a big turnaround for the Wildcats, getting back into this game mentally.
Blew by you, right? Michael Krajosik will catch his breath and attempt the extra point. He's 15 of 22. And its snap is put down, and the kick, did it get over the bar? Yes, it did. It's good. And the Wildcats answer quickly on special teams. Their first return for a touchdown in that department this year, and it's 7-3 with 4:51 remaining in the first quarter on an IRMC High School Sports Night. 7-3 Wildcats on the Renda Media Football Network.
This is your state representative, Jim Struzzi, and I'm asking for your vote this November. The last couple of years have been something we could never have imagined, and now we are getting back to normal, and nothing is more normal than Friday night football. I want to wish all our area athletes, band members, cheerleaders, and all who participate the best of luck for a safe, successful, and fun-filled season. These games wouldn't happen without the support of the community, and I will continue to work hard for you and your families in Indiana County. Me and my staff wish you good luck, and I'll be rooting for each and every one of you, and I hope that you'll be rooting for me this November.
Dan and Evan.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your
up by Colin Kraus, and he returns it after bobbling the football out over the 40 to about the 41 or 42 yard line is where they're going to put it down. Romy Dokos on the tackle, so Meyersdale pretty good operating position. Let's get caught up on our Luther Ford drive summary for Meyersdale. That field goal drive, don't hear this very often. 4 plays, 0 yards. It took a minute 38, 36-yard field goal, and then Michael Krajosik answers with the electrifying kickoff return. How about this? 4:44 on the clock. 4:44 is where we start this drive. Give up the middle, and who had that football, Ward?
I think that was
Bryson Hetz.
Hetz, I think, yeah.
And he was tackled by Isaiah Bentz.
No gain.
No gain on the play. We've seen a lot of that from Meyersdale. Again, their offense averaging only 11 points a game. Receiver near side is Tristan Oler, who drilled that 36-yard field goal. They have a slot receiver to his left. And taking the shotgun snap is Drake Sellers. Throws over the middle, has a receiver, and about 9 yards, maybe even a first down into Homer Center territory, depending on the spot. The reception made by Dalton Sellers, his older brother, his 18th of the season now. They give him 9 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 1. Tackling him in his tracks was Braden Dunn, but Wildcats just continue to allow receivers to find open space.
Yeah, and the problem there was when they made the tackle, they actually pushed him forward rather than push him back towards scrimmage. So they only got a yard here to get.
High formation, they give to the deep back, and it ball's loose. It's fumbled. Homer Center may have it, Ward. Let's see. Wildcats say they do, and they do have the football. It was Caleb Palmer coming up with that fumble.
That was a reverse handoff. I mean, the quarterback just did a spin move, held the ball up high, and was going to try to hand it off, but when he brought it down, it got knocked away from him, and Homer swarmed to it. And so now the Wildcats are set up in probably 4-down territory here.
Hasn't been the prettiest of quarters for either team. Third turnover.
Pretty ugly, to be honest.
Homer Center with the lead right now. Line of scrimmage, the 47 of Meyersdale. They hand it on a jet sweep to Krajosik, trying to get to the edge to the 45 to the 40. 35 tripped up and forced out of bounds. Malachi Carr got enough of Michael inside the 30-yard line to knock him out of bounds, but a good pickup.
It's like 10, 12.
From the 47, where do they put it? At the 26. So that'll be a 21-yard gain.
Nice job. That time, Krajosik able to use his speed to go to the edge. He hadn't been able to do that all year long on that thing. But this time he did, and big pickup for the Wildcats.
1st and 10, Braden Dunn. They faked the jet. Riley wants to keep it, and Riley's going to be tackled for another loss. There was some confusion on that. It just wasn't clean. The timing was way off, and they're going to lose 4, maybe even 5 yards back. Yeah, 5 yards to the 31-yard line. Colin Kraus blew that play completely up for Meyersdale, their leading tackler. That inside linebacker shot the gap. He's a good player, 6'1", 6 foot, 190. I can see why he enters the game with 95 tackles.
They play, Homer's had success faking that and going, but Meyersdale scouted it out pretty well.
This time they fake it again to Braden. This time Riley running room to the 20 to the 15. First down yardage to the 10. And Homer Center, if they mark it at the 10, will have a first down and goal. Looks like a 21-yard gain for Riley to the 10-yard line.
That was to the right. The last play was faked going right to left. This was going left to right, and Riley found a hole that time, did he not?
Yes, he did. 2 21-yard gains. Snap a little bit behind Clevenger. He hands it off to Hill. Hill to the 5. Hill to the goal line. Touchdown, Homer Center Wildcats, I do believe. Although we don't have a signal yet. And now we have a signal, and it is 6 points. Riley Hill's 14th touchdown of the season, and Homer Center leads 13-3 with 2:06 remaining in the first quarter.
Nice job. Len got a little crack that time, which is all he needs. They hadn't been doing much blocking for him early on. But once he got in that secondary, they're not going to bring him down, and he plowed into the end zone.
Krajosik to attempt the extra point. Snap is put down. The kick is low, and it's blocked out of the hold of Braden Dunn, so the extra point fails, but the Wildcats do have a 10-point lead as they take advantage of the Caleb Palmer fumble recovery, and they drive 47 yards. They lead 13-3 on an IRMC High School Sports Night with 2:06 remaining in the first quarter, and on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall, located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, features an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage and refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a brand new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The Twin Cities Event Hall is perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings, located off Route 119 in Grayston on Neal Road. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
Homer Center, 2 touchdowns within a span of 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Touchdown drive summary, 5 plays, 47 yards, took 1 minute and 13 seconds. Mason Bell squib kick, and it bounces around, and it's picked up by Kraus of the Meyersdale Red Raiders, and a lot of white jerseys swarm to the football, and he gets over the actually gave ground back inside the 35 to the 32-yard line, fielding that squib kick. Brian Mills on the kick coverage team for Homer Center, actually 37-yard line they move the football to.
A little better result from that kick. One prior to that, not so much luck. They were able to field it cleanly and then move right up the field with it. That time it didn't happen. Homer's coverage team got down there on top of them.
I think Jerry Rosside sent us some scores that we'll try to get caught up on when we have a moment. Meyersdale starting at their own 37. And Drake Sellers throws out in the flat, and it might be a lateral. It's picked up. I think that's a lateral. And if it is, it's Homer Center football.
I think it caught the side judge by surprise here. He hasn't made a call yet. He had a good view of it.
Drake Sellers to Dalton Sellers, who bobbled the pass, but it was behind the line of scrimmage, I'm almost certain.
Yeah, well,
and the officials
yeah.
are discussing it. And I think you're right. It caught the line judge by surprise.
They're signaling Homer's football. Or they were. Now, Meyersdale kids are signaling, no, that's our ball.
We don't have the replay monitor. I don't know if John is seeing it. They're just calling it incomplete pass.
See, I really believe the official down here kind of got caught off guard and wasn't watching the position of the receiver.
Could you tell, John?
That ball was behind him, Mark, which is a fumble.
John Smathers had a look on his monitor on the other side of the wall here. Denny Mester now taking a look at it, and it looks like it was 2 yards behind. But it goes in Meyersdale's favor, and now Sellers going to keep it. And he's into the secondary to the 45, and very close to a first down. Casey Harper brought him down. So Meyersdale with the break. It'll be third down and short now. Third down and about 2.
Well, he found the gap and shot through it there. He's pretty quick. And we were told and we understood that he was a lot of their offense as far as the ground game goes.
Just to confirm, Dennis, you didn't go from the line of scrimmage. You went from the shotgun where he passed the ball. Yep. Okay. Third down and a yard from the 46 of Meyersdale. They don't have a first down yet, I don't believe. And taking the direct snap, Drake Sellers, and they still don't have a first down. He's hit and dropped for a loss back to the 45-yard line. See who busted through there for Homer Center. I think Vinny Taglietti. And they do lose a yard back to the 45. And Meyersdale, are they going to send out the punt team or go for it? 45 seconds clock running here in the first quarter on WCCS and Renda Digital TV.
They're going to punt, I believe, Mark. They don't want to give Wildcat field position here. This would be 4-down territory if they gave the ball up here.
So it'll be Blake Martini punting the ball. And it's a line drive kick taken by Dunn at the 28-yard line. Reverses footing, uses a stiff arm, dances to the 35, gets to close to the 40-yard line. On the kick coverage team, it was Connor Miller, the long snapper downfield, making that tackle.
Good return, and that's why you have 2 people back to catch those punts that can return them. Dunn did a nice job that time. Line drives are not easy to catch, Mark. Usually the receiver lets it hit them, and it bounces off their shoulder pads and back to the defense, so you didn't really want to have that happen.
Just a 22-yard punt and a 7-yard return. So, 16 seconds remaining. Homer Center starting at their own 39. And the give to Landon Hill. Lowers the shoulder, has 5 yards to the 44. Yeah, they mark it at the 43-yard line. Ian Brenneman on the tackle. And we've just witnessed the final play of the first quarter. After Meyersdale took a 3-0 lead on a 36-yard field goal, a kickoff return for Michael Krajosik, and then a turnover and another touchdown for Homer Center. They lead 13-3 after one. Thanks to friends of Jim Struzzi for presenting the first quarter right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Leftoff Funeral Home is behind you.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Quick Stats brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Ward, what do you have for Landon Hill?
Right now he's got 19 yards on 4 carries, Mark.
Flag on the play, and the give to Krajosic, or that's Braden Dunn. Dunn speeds his way, breaks a tackle, 30, 25-20, forced out of bounds at about the 19-yard line by Sellers and also Malachi Carr, but I think it's coming back, unless Meyersdale lined up offside.
It's in the backfield, but typically that's a hold of some type.
Well, now the flag came right. Yeah, too quick for a hold. Illegal procedure on Homer Center.
Well, so that's not so bad, but those are drive killers, those 5-yarders.
Wipes away a 36-yard gain.
Nice run by Braden.
So they back them up, and it'll be 2nd down and 11. So Hill needed 32 yards for 1,000. You said you have him at 19.
I got him at 19.
So
right
he's 13 yards away.
I believe unless he gets injured, he should be able to get to that.
And he is not playing 100%. Slot receivers Braden Dunn, Riley Clevenger from the gun. Centers Joe Succiarelli. Sidecar is Hill, stays in as a protector. Throwing, and is it caught or dropped by Krajosic? He caught it at the 45-yard line. So they pick up the penalty yardage +2, and it'll set up 3rd down and about 4 to go. Wildcats at their own 45-yard line.
Nice grab by Krajosic there. Ball was away from him, but he reached out, snagged it, and held on.
Riley Clevenger hands it off to Landon Hill. Landon has 3 yards to the 48, but he's going to be a yard shy of the 1st down. On that tackle, I think it was Sellers. Of course, there's 2 Sellers, Mark. I think it was Dalton Sellers that made that tackle. 4th down and a yard. And Riley goes under center, hard count. And they have not been pulled off, and he snaps it, hands it off to Hill. 1st down yardage, drags a red jersey into Red Raider territory for 4 yards. Kraus on the tackle, the inside linebacker. Quarterback keeper Riley Clevenger, and just following his center, Succiarelli, and his guards, Taglietti and Dokos. They open up a hole where he gains about 6 yards, tackled by Landon Ludy of the Meyersdale Red Raiders.
Yeah, Riley's going right directly from the center, not taking the snaps in the shotgun. Now he's back in the shotgun. That just keeps the defense honest.
Give to Hill. Hill is hit and backs his way inside the 40 to the 39-yard line for 3 tough yards. Boy, Riley just not getting a lot of help from his friends up front. That offensive line continues to struggle here. But he gets enough to set up 3rd down and 1. Out-of-town scoreboard. River Valley, they're winless. Everett's winless. Something has to give. Right now, it's River Valley Panthers 7, Everett nothing after 1 quarter. Glendale draws first blood. First quarter, they lead 7-0 at Kerwinsville. Third down and a yard. Riley Clevenger under center, quarterback keeper, and he keeps the legs going, and look at him go, and he breaks a tackle. 30, 20, 15, 10. He's going to take it to the house from 39 yards out. And the Wildcats extend their lead 19-3. Just kind of got lost in the shuffle there, Riley Clevenger did. And he has his second rushing touchdown of the season. Coming off of an injury, Riley Clevenger makes it 19-3 with 8:59 left in the first half.
He's always been that way all year long. You watch, he will scrap for every yard until he's finally put down. They just never got their hands around his legs, and once he broke loose of that high tackle, he had nothing but field ahead of him, and he just sprinted to the end zone. Great job by Clevenger.
Wildcats will kick. Dunn the holder. Dan Jones, long snappers, hurt. Krajosic's kick is up and good. We're going to try to have to pick up and see who that long snapper is tonight. But that kick is good. With 8:59 remaining in the first half, it's now Homer Center Wildcats 20 and the Meyersdale Red Raiders 3, right here on the Renda Media Football Network.
When your vehicle needs tended to, take it to Baroni's Auto Care. Baroni's Auto Care inspects, does minor repairs including brakes and exhausts, as well as oil changes and tune-ups. And if you're looking for tires, Baroni's Auto Care sells all brands. Baroni's Auto Care is currently accepting new customers. So when your vehicle needs inspected or repaired, take it to Baroni's Auto Care right off Route 56. Look for the sign in Brush Valley.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Appalachian Bowl tomorrow at 6:15 on Cat Country 106.3 and on Renda Digital TV with our video stream from Winburn Stadium. Mason Bell, again a squib kick, picked up at the 22-yard line, fumbled by Sellers. He picks it up again, now trying to dance through jerseys, and he does! Like a Houdini act to the 40, to the 50. Right sideline, Braden Dunn finally drags him down inside the 40. How on earth did that happen? But it did.
It's called over pursuit. Homer come down, and as soon as they saw him fumble, they all went at him. He got by that first wave and then just slipped out to the side. Good thing Braden Dunn was out there, or that's a touchdown for Meyersdale.
And that was Meyersdale's Dalton Sellers. 42-yard kickoff return to Homer Center's 36-yard line.
They're in 4-down territory now. Meyersdale is. Wow. Homer's coverages have been pretty poor this year.
Special teams has not been a strength, that's for sure. 1st and 10, jet motion, and they hand it off, and coming with the football is Malachi Carr, and Malachi is not going anywhere. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but I think they're going to charge him with a yard loss back to the 37-yard line. A lot of white jerseys pouring through. Vinny Taglietti among them.
Good job by Braden Dunn playing undersized defensive end, but he was able to force that play wide and then inside, and got the pursuit to come up, help him out, and no gain. Maybe a loss of a yard.
Yeah, definitely a loss of 1 yard. 2nd down and 11 from the Wildcat 37. Drake Sellers looking to throw, and he has a receiver at the Wildcat 31-yard line. Climbing the ladder, Malachi Carr for the Meyersdale Red Raiders. He entered the game with 5 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Tackled in his tracks by Casey Harper, but they do pick up 7 yards on the play to set up 3rd and manageable. It's 3rd down and 4. Clock moving, 7:40 here at Meyersdale. It's 20-3 Homer Center.
Actually had 2 receivers in the same area, but Carr went up, made a real nice catch there.
They send trips to the right. Ian Brenneman, a slot receiver, and Sellers throws, has a receiver open, but he's not going to get to the lead chain for the first down as Krajosic tackled Tristan Oler. But boy, he gave up a lot of cushion there, didn't he, Ward?
He gave up an awful lot. He had to run about 8 yards just to get to the receiver. I think he was expecting a deep pass.
Only ends up being a 1-yard gain, so it'll be 4th down and 3 for the Red Raiders.
Nice pass there by Sellers.
River Valley now leading 14-0 over Everett with 8:38 to play. That game can help Homer Center if River Valley wins. I'll explain why after this play.
I know.
4th down and a long 3. Reverse jet motion Sellers, and Drake throws over the middle, slant post, skinny post incomplete to Malachi Carr, and the Wildcats hold off Meyersdale and will get the ball back. Ward, explain the bonus points and how a River Valley loss helps Homer Center if they win tonight.
A River Valley win.
A River Valley win, yeah.
Well, they get, I believe, 10 points for every win that teams they have already beaten get.
That's correct.
And you can add that in and along. It's a mathematical nightmare. You love it, though.
Yeah, so a Homer Center win and a River Valley win, a Northern Cambria win helps Homer Center because they defeated the Colts. That would be 10 bonus points. I don't think it's going to be difficult for Homer Center to jump out of 7th with a win, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Riley Clevenger hands it off to Braden Dunn. Darts through an opening, and nice nifty running by Braden, the sophomore for Homer Center, who I like a lot as a football player. And he has about 6 yards.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one. He's only a sophomore, as you said, and he's got good speed, good running instincts. That's what I always look at in a running back. Knows where to go.
Second down and about 4 to go. Landon Hill not in there on this series. They give to Dunn, and Dunn squirts through a little opening off the left side, and I don't think he gets to that lead marker, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 2. Tyler Sandy on the tackle for the Red Raiders. Sandy.
Landon Hill was in there. I believe he's playing the slot, just so he doesn't have. He's in the backfield now.
All right, so 3rd down and 2. Landon needs 3 for 1,000 this season. From the shotgun, Riley hands it off to Landon. Landon has 3. He has 1,000 this year, and he goes over 1,000 as he goes over the 45-yard line up to the 46. On the tackle, Brady McKenzie, the defensive tackle, one of the tackles in their defense. Landon needed 32 yards to become the 19th Wildcat running back to eclipse 1,000 in a season, and he got the 32 plus he needed, and a new set of downs for Homer Center.
I gave him 7 on that. That gives him 36, and he's working on the second 1,000.
Well, I'll give you that number as he gets the handoff and lunges to midfield and to the 49-yard line. On the tackle, Brady McKenzie one more time for the Red Raiders. Landon needs 179. That's entering the game, so probably about 140 now to become the 9th Homer Center football player ever to reach 2,000 in his career. Keep in mind, he's only a junior. He's played a good chunk of this season, not close to 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
2nd and 5, Riley's going to keep it on the RPO and fights for yardage. This time they're saying, you're not going to sneak out and run for 50 yards on us. They gang tackle him and push him back. Not sure he's going to get anything on the play. They're going to put the football down at the 49-yard line of the Red Raiders, so call it no gain.
Yeah, he was fighting for it, but he was just gang tackled. He wasn't going anywhere. About 3rd and 4 here for Homer.
3rd down, and they have Krajosic as a receiver to the right. Matching up on him is Dalton Sellers, the left cornerback. Slot receivers Braden Dunn, but Riley going to go under center. 3:35 to play in the quarter, 20-3. They give it to Hill, and Hill 2 yards to the 47, and it'll set up 4th down and 3.
That's good.
Wildcats really the offensive line were really not doing a good job against this undersized defense.
No, they're not moving anyone. Landon got hit right at scrimmage there, managed to fall forward for 2 yards. They're just not clearing out any gaps.
Colin Krause on the tackle, the inside backer. He's an impressive football player. 4th down and 3. Homer Center with 10 seconds on the play clock. They're going to run it down and maybe utilize a timeout. We're under 3 minutes to play here in the first half, and that's what they're going to do. Timeout, Homer Center. They lead 20-3 with 2:47 remaining in the first half. 4th down and 3, decision time for Greg Page when we return on the Renda Media Football Network.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, 2 great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
Are you thinking?
Well, here we go. The Wildcats are going to go for it, leading 20-3 at the Meyersdale 47. They need to get to the 44-yard line, and they come out in a shotgun formation with Braden Dunn as a sidecar to the right. And they fake the pitch, and Riley's going to keep it, and Riley Clevenger has a first down to the 41-yard line of the Red Raiders. So they fake that. Almost looks like an option right, Ward, and Riley kind of keeps the ball, fakes the pitch, and cut it up and picked up the necessary yardage. On the tackle, Ian Brenneman for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, nice job by Riley there. He read the defense. If they come at him, he's pitching it. If not, he's taking it up the slot. He got 5 yards and a first down.
Call it a 6-yard gain to the 41-yard line for Clevenger. Low snap, he hands to Hill. Hill very gingerly running, just doesn't have that same burst that we saw when he was healthy earlier in the season. Krause on the tackle for the Red Raiders. You kind of feel bad for Landon Hill because you have to wonder what kind of numbers would he have put up if this is a healthy offense. 2nd down and 5 from the 36. They fake it, they throw it out in the flat, and a little bubble or bullet screen doesn't work. They had it actually double teamed.
Almost intercepted, actually.
Devin Donica, strong safety, came up and read that. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. 1:49 to play here in the first half. It's 20-3 Homer Center as we flip over our Mistretta meter in a tribute to Dick Mistretta.
Yeah, very valuable piece of equipment, and we treat it as such.
We thank him for financing it years ago.
Yeah, he put up $1.50.
3rd down and 5. Jet sweep. Nope, they fake it. And Riley Clevenger to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15-yard line, and down inside the 10-yard line on the far side of the field, I believe, as Clevenger's having himself a big first half. Let's see where they're going to put the football down. And it is inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line, Ward. So what's that from the
35 down to the 8?
31, I think it was.
Was it 31? Oh.
Maybe no, you're right. I think you're right. We'll go with the 35.
So that's about 23 yards then, right?
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Riley fumbles the football, and he has to jump on it outside the 10-yard line. Probably had time to pick it up and do something, but he took the safer route, and there's nothing wrong with that. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 12.
Yeah, that last run, he just saw a gap, and he just flat sprinted. He wasn't going to do any cutting or faking. He just ran to the end zone.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's Landon and off the left side, and nothing there again. Got maybe 2 yards.
Inside the 10. Let's see where they put the football down, and there's a timeout called on the tackle, Zach Sumi, for the Red Raiders. Timeout called by Homer Center. We'll pause for 30 seconds with 56.5 seconds left on an IRMC High School Sports Night on WCCS Renda Digital TV, presented by our friends at the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Wildcats 20, Red Raiders 3. Homer Center trying to punch one in before the break on the Renda Media Football Network.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
That we're interested in as it impacts Homer Center's opponent next week. Second quarter, Northern Cambria 20, Conemaugh Township 7.
Ooh.
Third down and goal from the 8-yard line. Wildcats double sidecar and Dunn in motion out of the backfield. Riley all kind of time throwing for the end zone for Krajosic, and I think he caught it but out of bounds deep in the end zone. Yep, it is incomplete, and it was actually Braden Dunn. 34 and not 24, so it'll be fourth down and goal. Homer Center could try a field goal if they want to. Although their kicking game, they just don't have the normal personnel in there because Dan Jones is such a good snapper. Timeout called by Homer Center. Since 2009, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville has been there for you and your family with convenient access. UrgiCare is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. with seamless access to the main IRMC campus, IRMC in Indiana. Count on IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville. Enough with the waiting game. Get in, get out, get better. A part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. Well, we're kind of bogging down here ahead of first and goal and haven't made anything happen on the first 3 plays.
You know, we've talked about it all year. They're just not getting the push up front, and you got to have that in order to be successful. I don't care how good the running back is. If there's nowhere to run, you don't generally get too much, and that's been their problem, and they need to get better at it if they're going to do anything in the playoffs. Right now, I can't see that happening anymore.
So, out of this timeout, it will be fourth down and goal. Check our other scoreboard source. See if there's anything rolling in here. The latest from Jerry Rossi, Glendale was leading 7-0. That was just midway through the first quarter, and Jerry hasn't given us anything else.
Oh, he better snap it up there. I miss him. He should be doing that stuff.
Fourth down and goal. They send Hill and reposition him and go empty. And Riley looking, rolls to his right. And if he comes outside, he might have a clean trip to the end zone. Instead, he's sacked, and now there's a flag coming, and we might have something. Let's see who this goes against. It could give Homer Center a new set of downs if it's against the Red Raiders. Some extracurricular activities after the sack. I'm not sure who broke through, Dennis. Did you see?
Is it nose?
Kraus again.
He ran right into him.
You look ahead to next week. If that score with Northern Cambria would hold and Cambria Heights loses at Northern Bedford, the Wildcats would be heading to Northern Cambria next week. Unsportsmanlike on Meyersdale, but it is after the play. So it will not be, if it was roughing the passer, that would have been a different situation. But unsportsmanlike will back Meyersdale up inside the 10. Where are they putting the football down? At about the 8-yard line.
That's what the clock says.
49 seconds to play here in the first half.
Yeah, you're right. Had Riley been able to just get to the wing, he'd have had a lot of open field. But he thought he saw something up, straight up, And he did. He saw a Meyersdale player, ran right into him, and that pretty much put the kibosh hit on play.
49 seconds remaining. Meyersdale will start at their own 8-yard line.
You can take that out of the playbook, huh?
We'll have replays coming up on our ITT halftime show. Trip receivers near side if you're watching at the bottom of your screen. And they're going to run a streak down the right sideline, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Tristan Oler on the coverage, Casey Harper, and it'll be second down and goal. Timeout situation. Meyersdale has all three. Homer Center has burned all three of theirs. So Meyersdale can control their own destiny here and run the clock out without Homer Center stopping it. They might opt to pass one more time. We'll see.
With 42 seconds, it's worth the try. I mean, it's a final game. There's really nothing to lose here by taking chances.
20-3, Homer Center leads it late in this second quarter, and they do go under center with Drake Sellers, or Dalton that is, and he hands it off, and running room, and 10 yards or so for the ball carrier.
Ritz?
It is actually Bryson Hetz.
Hetz, I'm sorry.
On the tackle, and he gains 12 yards to the 20-yard line. And a new set of downs. 30 seconds remaining. Hustling in to call the play is junior quarterback, the younger of the Sellers brothers, Drake. And let's see what they do. They send his younger brother, Dalton Sellers, to the left boundary. And a fumbled snap, and let's see who has it. Then Homer Center may have another turnover, their third of the half. Let's see, Homer Center football with 6 seconds left. They can get a playoff here at least, Ward.
I'm not sure what happened there, Moore. I don't know if the ball hit. It was a high snap. Oh.
I don't know that the snap ever made it to the quarterback.
That's what I was wondering. It looked like it might have just hit the center.
I'm not sure who recovered that. But the Wildcats with 6 seconds.
Plenty of time to throw into the end zone. Maybe they used all their timeouts, however, so it's got to be either a score or...
And Meyersdale takes a timeout. We'll take one, too. 30 seconds. 20-3, Homer Center with the lead with 6 seconds left in the first quarter. One last gasp for the Wild Media Football Network.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
At Meyersdale High School, 2-6 Red Raiders, 4-5 Homer Center Wildcats. Homer Center, they haven't had a losing regular season in 11 years, dating back to 2011 when they were 0-9, but that was kind of the springboard for some big things to come with a talented young group that learned how to win. Their worst mark since then was 5-5 in 2016. Hoping to repeat that tonight. Clevenger going to heave one for the end zone. Nope, he throws it out in the flat to Dunn. Makes a cut, but he's tackled from behind inside the 10-yard line at about the 7 as time expires here at Meyersdale. That's all there is. There is no more for the first half. We'll recap it for you when we come back. Meyersdale scored the first points of the game on a field goal, but the Wildcats answered with 3 touchdowns, and they lead 20-3 at halftime. Coming back to Meyersdale with our ITT halftime show, it's Homer Center 20 and the Meyersdale Red Raiders 3 on an IRMC High School Sports Night on WCCS, Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Our ITT halftime show is next on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hi,
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right, London. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 5 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now, and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, 2 great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
From Meyersdale, it's 20-3 Homer Center. Let's recap it for you. Meyersdale actually got on the board after a sluggish start for both teams. Where is that coming from? Oh, okay.
That's the Homer band, man.
Yeah, evidently. I think it's getting into our equipment with all the gadgetry down there. But after a sluggish start for both teams, we had basically 4 3-and-outs, but on the fourth one, Ian Brenneman intercepted Riley Clevenger, and Meyersdale was set up at the 20-yard line. They ran 3 plays, did not gain a yard, but they sent in a pretty talented field goal kicker by the name of Tristan Oler, and he drilled a 36-yard field goal at the 5:05 mark to give the Red Raiders a short-lived 3-0 lead. 4 plays, no yards on that touchdown drive or a field goal drive that took 1:38. Homer Center needed an answer. They got one on the ensuing kickoff.
Josic on the return out over the 40, the 50 down the right sideline. They're not going to catch him. He blows right by a Red Raider, and he takes it the distance, 89 yards for a Wildcat touchdown. And Michael Krajosic, a special team splash play, and Homer Center has the lead with 4:51 remaining in the first quarter. It's 6-3 Homer Center.
Michael Krajosic then added the extra point to make it 7-3 at the 4:51 mark as we bring you the radio replays on WCCS AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. Meyersdale ensuing possession started at their own 42-yard line. On a 3rd down and 1, they fumbled. It was recovered by Caleb Palmer at the Meyersdale 47-yard line. 21, the magic number on this drive for Homer Center. They got a 21-yard run from Michael Krajosic on a jet sweep. And then after a 5-yard loss, Riley Clevenger, a 21-yard run to the Meyersdale 10-yard line, and then on 1st and 10, Homer Center's leading ground gainer, Landon Hill, went to work.
Snap a little bit behind Clevenger. He hands it off to Hill. Hill to the 5, Hill to the goal line. Touchdown, Homer Center Wildcats, I do believe. Although we don't have a signal yet. And now we have a signal, and it is 6 points. Riley Hill's 14th touchdown of the season, and Homer Center leads 13-3 with 2:06 remaining in the first quarter.
Landon Hill, I should say, with that touchdown run, and his 14th of the season made it 13-3, although the extra point failed for Homer Center. Meyersdale's next possession, our replay showed that a lateral should have been recovered by Braden Dunn, but after a long discussion, they ruled it an incomplete pass, which was the wrong call. We felt the side judge just kind of got caught with his hand in the cookie jar there, Ward, not paying attention. And Meyersdale retained possession of the ball, but they ended up going 3-and-out, got a 22-yard punt off of the foot of Blake Martini. And Homer Center took over at the 39-yard line. They ran one play, and we headed to the second quarter. The Wildcats starting at their own 43-yard line, and they worked it down the field. 8 plays, 57 yards. Riley Clevenger kind of got in the middle of his scrum, didn't he? And broke free. And it's what it sounded like here on WCCS and viewing for our viewers on Renda Digital TV.
Third down and a yard. Riley Clevenger under center, quarterback keeper, and he keeps the legs going. And look at him go, and he breaks the tackle. 30, 20, 15, 10. He's going to take it to the house from 39 yards out. And the Wildcats extend their lead 19-3. Just kind of got lost in the shuffle there, Riley Clevenger did. And he has his second rushing touchdown of the season. Coming off of an injury, Riley Clevenger makes it 19-3 with 8:59 left in the first half.
You kind of mentioned it. You didn't use the word Energizer Bunny, but he is that kind of player. He just doesn't give up on plays, does he?
No, he doesn't. He keeps his legs churning. He loves to play this game, and it's good to have him back in the lineup.
Extra point from Michael Krajosik was good to cap off the 8-play, 57-yard drive that took 3:16. We were at 20-3, and Wildcats had an opportunity and got it down to the 10-yard line on another 21-yard gain from Clevenger, but they bogged down. Very disappointing. Fumble put them back to the 12, a 4-yard loss. Second and goal, 3 yards to the 9 for Hill. Third down and goal, an incomplete pass. And fourth down, a sack. And overall, the Wildcats leading 20-3, but I think a disappointing effort by the offensive line.
Yeah, mainly the I thought the defense did well, but the offense just wasn't controlling the game. They had some big plays, but it wasn't consistent. And you know, that's what Homer Center's mantra is. They are generally, when they're playing well, they're consistent, and they haven't been that all year.
Coming back with more on our ITT halftime report, Ward Hilliard will give you the stats, which are down to the precise stats, brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first. Jerry Rossi. Oh, Jerry Rossi, where are you?
Yes, yes.
Ward Hilliard has the stats coming up next. Wildcats lead 20-3 as we continue on our ITT halftime report on the Renda Media Football Network.
I'm Shannon Lipniskis. Hutton Blues Insurance of Indiana is proud to support high school football.
I'm Jay Blues. You can't beat football season, and when it comes to your insurance needs, you won't beat the service we provide at Hutton Blues Insurance.
Our family business has served Indiana and the surrounding counties for more than 3 decades.
Once you do business with Hutton Blues Insurance, we'll make you a customer for life.
So best of luck, area teams, from your friends at Hutton Blues Insurance in Indiana.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Recently voted Best Landscaping Company in Indiana County, Johnston Nursery Landscaping has been serving the area since 2002 in all phases of landscaping. J&L's primary focus is year-round property maintenance, driveway seal coating, excavation, and wholesale and retail Christmas tree sales. Let J&L take away the hassle of fall leaf cleanup and also help with those fall landscaping projects. It's a great time of year to work on those beautiful home projects. Check them out on Facebook. Johnston Nursery Land.
Back with you on our S&T Bank broadcast booth, relationship banking, one customer at a time. S&T Bank member FDIC. We thank S&T and all of our wonderful sponsors that bring you Homer Center football both on WCCS and Renda Digital TV. And Ward, before I forget, I was away at a conference in Indianapolis, but on the way back, I don't know that you're supposed to be watching Renda Digital TV on I-70, but the Homer Center volleyball team was doing quite well.
Yes.
And got
Very
home
well.
in time just to see the very end of their last match against West Shamokin. And the first game, from what I understand, was 32-30, something along those lines. And then the second one went deep, or maybe it was the third one went deep again too. But Homer Center pulled it out, and they won for the second straight year, the Heritage Conference Championship at the Kovalchik Complex. And now it's on to bigger and better things. The playoffs start Monday night, and they're going to host Claysburg Kimmel at the Homer Dome, 7 o'clock. And tickets are on sale. Come out and watch the girls. They are outstanding. Really fun to watch. And we congratulate Anna Cutshaw, or who's the head? Is it Anna, the head coach, Jim? Mrs. Cutshaw.
It's a Cutshaw, I know that. But she did a heck of a job. It's her first year.
Yeah, and it's a championship, and they have big goals for the District 6 playoffs. We wish them well. We hope maybe if they can get to the championship game, we might be able to bring you some of that coverage as well. Our coverage here tonight from Meyersdale, it's good news on the scoreboard. It's 20-3 Homer Center over the Red Raiders in this first ever meeting between the two schools. Ward, what do you have for stats?
Oh, they ain't too impressive, but I'm glad you brought that up. I want to wish the girls congratulations, too, on that big win. For Meyersdale in the rushing area, 5 carries for Dalton Sellers, 2 yards. Malachi Carr had 1 carry, -1. Bryson Hetz had 3 carries for 12. That's 9 attempts, 13 rushing yards. Through the air, the Sellers brothers ended up with 5 completions and 11 attempts with an interception. Total yards passing, 26. So they had 13 on the ground, 26 through the air, 39 offensive yards for the first half, Mark. Pretty ugly. Well, Homer's isn't a whole lot better, I think, the way you would think anyhow, but here's what we got. Riley Clevenger, 11 carries, 85 yards. Landon Hill had 12 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Michael Krajosik, 1 carry, 21 yards. And Braden Dunn, 2 carries for 8 yards. Homer had 26 attempts, 104 rushing yards. Through the air, Riley was 2 of 6 for a total of 13 yards. He had 1 interception. Homer had 104 on the ground, 13 through the air, just 117 offensive yards, but they do have 20 points, and that makes the game much, much easier to digest here.
Yeah, for sure. So total yards again, Ward, give it to me for both teams again.
Homer Center had 117. Meyersdale had 39.
39 total yards. Yeah, it doesn't even seem like they had.
No, it's not even like a
39,
game.
and I know you're not off. You're probably spot on right down to the yard, right?
Well, how many runs they had?
Well, he didn't argue with that, did he, Dennis? Right down to the yard.
No, I was, I'm dead on this stuff here. No, I'm getting pretty good at it.
We can keep Ross-Eye at home in the future if that's what you prefer.
That was totally an error. I apologize.
Jerry has sent us some scores that we're going to talk about when we return on our ITT halftime show. As we look ahead to the playoffs, some interesting developments on our out-of-town scoreboard. It's crossover weekend, but we're taking a deeper dive into our out-of-town scoreboard as we look ahead to the District 6 playoffs. You can't hear the music in your headset, but we have the Halloween music from our executive producer of Wildcat Sports, Michael Burdick. It sounds like I'm not hearing it. It's spooky, it's scary. And it's 20-3 Homer Center over the Meyersdale Red Raiders when the ITT halftime report continues on the Renda Media Football Network.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Are you thinking about getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would also like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Looking for one of the coolest new products in the market, or maybe looking for that unique Christmas present? Psst, it will cure your pain at the pump.
SeaWorld Satellites is now offering the Go Express e-bike, made for the urban commuter and weekend adventurer, combining city cruising and all-terrain riding. From pavement to hills, streets to sand, take your Go Express bike to your next meeting or exploration. This e-bike can run up to 18 miles in electric mode. To look at or take a test ride, come to SeaWorld Satellites on Wayne Avenue in Indiana.
Going to get to our out-of-town scoreboard because it impacts the District 6 rankings. By the way, last night at Hollidaysburg was the first crossover game, Heritage crossover weekend, as Marion Center in a game that we aired here, not on WCCS, but on sister station U92. It was our U92 game of the week, and congratulations to Adam Rising and the Stingers as they came away with I think that score was 34-8 over the Claysburg-Kimmel Ball Club, and they finished strong. Marion Center
they did. The last 5 games, they were very competitive. Had a couple they could have won, including a Homer Center game. So, Adam got them turned around, and I'm sure he wished the season would continue. But
let's, Hayward, let's look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Crossover game that doesn't impact Homer Center in District 6 Class A. River Valley all over Everett, 28-0. Homer Center can gain 10 extra bonus points because they beat River Valley earlier this season, actually in the second game of the season at Memorial Field. Also in Double A, West Shamokin leading at North Star. We passed that exit. 20-7 the score, West Shamokin in the Double A playoff race. But now, these scores do impact Homer Center. We told you The bottom three teams, really, Homer Center, Purchase Line in 7th and 8th, Glendale in 9th place, vying for those last two positions in the District 6 playoff race. Bald Eagle leading Purchase Line 13-0. Former Homer Center superintendent Kurt Weitzel at Bald Eagle area. Purchase Line probably not real happy to be there tonight, but they are losing. They were kind of the at-large berth. But, 13-0, we believe that's a halftime score. Purchase Line needs a win to get in or a Glendale loss. And right now, Glendale 28-15 over Kerwinsville at the half. So Glendale with a win and a Purchase Line loss and a Homer Center victory, that would end Purchase Line's season. Other scores. This one big for Homer Center because entering the night, Penns Manor, they locked up number 1 seed. Cambria Heights was 2nd, Northern Cambria 3rd, Portage 4th, Juniata Valley 5th, Mo Valley 6th, Homer Center 7th, Purchase Line 8th. Cambria Heights, the number 2 team, they were trailing at last report 14-0 to undefeated Northern Bedford. Northern Cambria, 27-7 over Conemaugh Township up in Davidsville. We passed that exit too, didn't we? Passed them all to get down here to Meyersdale. So Northern, if that would stick, Northern Cambria would jump to number 2. Cambria Heights would drop to 3rd. If Homer Center sticks at 7th, they would go to Northern Cambria next weekend. Juniata Valley, what else do we have? Juniata Valley and Mount Union, 13-13 at halftime.
Ooh. West
Branch and Mo Valley, I think I marked that score down wrong. Let me double check it. I have 21-7 West Branch, but let me find Jerry's feed here. It is West Branch 21, Mo Valley 7. Jerry, if you're listening or watching, you can confirm that for us because that would be an upset, wouldn't it? West Branch is, 3-6. They're out of playoff contention, but they are up on 5-4 Mo Valley, 21-7. So that kind of mixes things up, stirs up the pot a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, again, these playoffs are good for that. Teams rise up, have a good game, knock you out. And that's what it's all about. It's a fun time of year, but you got to maintain your focus and play as well as you can play because you can get knocked out real quick.
All right, we'll sort it out on our First Commonwealth Bank postgame show. Stats all night long brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank 2. Time to be first at First Commonwealth Bank. Appalachian Bowl coverage at 6:15 tomorrow on Cat Country 106.3 and on Renda Digital TV as well. We're going to go to break. Come back with the start of the third quarter. That's the ITT halftime report. It's 20-3 Homer Center over the Meyersdale Red Raiders on the Renda Media Football Network.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, two great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
End over end kick from Oler taken by Dunn at the 15-yard line to the 20 to the 25-30. In the loose at the 35 and up near the 40-yard line. So Homer Center will have pretty good operating position. See if head coach and the line coaches, Don Mester, Gene Raymond, maybe challenge that O-line to step up their game a little bit.
Yeah, you'd like to see a nice solid drive downfield and punch it into the end zone. Build their confidence up, and certainly mine. If they're going to do anything next week, they got to be doing a better job.
Homer Center comes out with Mason Bell as a fullback. They go under center in a straight eye, and they hand it off to Landon Hill. And Landon, 2 tough yards to the 42. That with a lead blocker, and Mason Bell didn't open up much, did it?
No, there's no hole. But Bell gets through and blocks one person, but there are 2 or 3 other ones filling those gaps because the line's just not pushing them out of there.
Zach Sumi on the tackle for the Meyersdale Red Raiders.
And they're playing tight. They're playing 7-8 up on that line.
10 right now. Clevenger hands it off, gives to Hill, cuts it back, meets stiff opposition to the 44-yard line, and a gain of 1. Breaking through, it was Tyler Sandy for the Red Raiders. If you're not watching tonight, Meyersdale, their home uniforms, white pants, no stripes, red jerseys, black numerals. I love when these
hard to read.
Not quite as bad as purchase lines. Homer in their black pants, white jerseys, black helmets, easy to read. Clevenger goes under center on 3rd down and 6 out of an I formation. And he gives to the deep back Hill. Hill has running room. Hill close to the first down, and it will depend on the spot. He got to midfield, and I think they're going to give it to him. It was Kraus on the tackle who gets up a little bit slowly, their leading tackler. So, yep, they give him the 49 of Meyersdale. So it'll be a new set of downs for the Wildcats, opening minute and a half of this 3rd quarter with the Wildcats leading 20-3. I formation, tight end right is Caleb Palmer. Do they have a tight end left as well, Ward? Let's
I think
see if
so.
we do. They give it to the deep back Hill. Hill 45. Hill keeps the legs moving, dives for the 40-yard line. Going to have about 9 more as the football the official there treats the football like a basketball and bounces it to himself and puts it down at the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and a yard. Brady McKenzie, one of the defensive tackles, a 5'9", 215-pound junior, made that tackle. Offset eye this time behind Riley, and they feed it to Landon again, bouncing it outside toward the Homer Center sideline. Has a 1st down inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Lateral pursuit for the Red Raiders was Lance Jones, the safety that came up. He's a freshman, 6'1", 163. They mark it at the 34, just inside the 35-yard line. We'll call it the 34 for stat purposes. Wide side of the field toward the Red Raider bench, where they deploy Michael Krajosik, the senior wideout who enters tonight's action with 16 receptions. Offset eye, give to Hill again. Hill knifed down and still dives for a yard and getting up slowly. And is he getting up? Yeah, he is for the Red Raiders. Kraus again as he ran into that truck known as Landon Hill.
Actually got about 3 yards on that, pretty much on his own.
3 minutes in, 9 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter.
Running an I formation, sometimes an offset I, somewhat of an old-fashioned Homer Center offense, and trying to just power it with 2 tight ends. Now they're back in the shotgun.
With a sidecar to the left of Riley Clevenger, and they fake it to Riley or Hill, and Riley keeps it, bounces it outside to the 20, to the 15-yard line, dragged down inside the 10, where the Wildcats will have 1st and goal. From the 31, don't tell me it's another 21-yard gain. If they put it down at the 10, it will be. Lance Jones is the tackler, the freshman. It's going to be inside the 10, actually, at about the 8, so it'll be a 23-yard gain. What about Riley's stats, Ward?
Well, that gave him 108 yards there. That gain right there. Got 108 now on 12 carries.
Single setback is Landon Hill, off right tackle. Landon to the 5, Landon to about the 3.
Pretty solid 5-yard pickup.
Brady McKenzie on the stop. Again, the defensive tackle, and it'll be 2nd down and goal for Homer Center. They spot the football at the 3-yard line.
Kind of wearing Meyersdale down a little, would you say? They're still scrapping, but they need about 9 guys in there.
Second and goal, Clevenger, quarterback keeper. Clevenger, a touchdown for the Homer Center Wildcats as they march it 60 yards, and they now have a comfortable 26-3 lead over the Meyersdale Red Raiders. Riley Clevenger having himself a night, isn't he?
Yeah, and that was a better effort all the way around. That's what we asked to see, a drive down the field, and that's what we got. Nice job by that line for a change. And we're going to get a kick from placement here.
Michael Krajosik out of the hold. See if you can pick up that long snapper tonight. Dunn puts it down, and the kick is low, maybe partially blocked too, and no good. And I think that long snapper is actually Landon Hill. But the kick was no good. Teams come upfield with 7:59 remaining in the third quarter on an IRMC High School Sports Night. It's now Homer Center 26 and the Meyersdale Red Raiders 3 on the Renda Media Football Network.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Hip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
With you on the kickoff, Mason Bell to Sellers, and with the football, Dalton Sellers still on his feet and up to the 45-yard line. I thought he was going down earlier than that, Ward Hilliard.
A little bit like Riley, huh? He would not give up, and Sellers are good athletes. Just need some players around them to help them.
Well, I told you can't sell them short. On the tackle, Mason Bell.
That was too long a drive. I told you it was too long a drive.
Football for Meyersdale at the 44-yard line with 7:48 remaining in this third quarter. That's where they start the drive. Ball favoring the right hash. As we look out of our S&T Bank broadcast booth, they operate right to left. Relationship banking, one customer at a time. S&T Bank. Drake Sellers, the quarterback, and a deep motion, and they're going to try a halfback option pass from Dalton Sellers downfield, and it's batted away by Casey Harper. The ball underthrown, intended for Tristan Oler, so a little trickery doesn't fool Homer Center on this Halloween weekend.
No, the pass had been longer, it might have been a different result, but
Homer Center, 3 turnovers in the first half that they forced. They had 1 turnover of their own. Ward, very uncharacteristic of Homer Center entering tonight's game. They were a -5 in the giveaway takeaway department. 9 takeaways, 14 giveaways.
Yeah, it's just all part of this, what's been a pretty frustrating season.
Sellers hands it off, and not a lot happening for the running back. I think that's Hetz. Bryson Hetz, yep, on the carry. Mason Bell, another tackle for Homer Center. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Meyersdale Red Raiders, who will have their season come to an end tonight. They're coached by Ryan Donaldson. As I mentioned on the ITT pregame show, in his 5th season, he's a 2008 graduate of Meyersdale, where he played football and baseball. He was hired in December of 2017 at the age of 28 to take over this program. His best year was 2019, and they were 9-2. Everything else under 500. Pressure up the middle, and Sellers throwing down the left sideline, incomplete. Some jostling, but no flags, as Casey Harper, good coverage on Dalton Sellers as the junior Seller tried going to the senior Seller. Sounds like a marketing team.
Down the cellar.
And it went out of bounds, into the cellar. And it'll be fourth down. They go 3 and out again. They have not had a lot going on offensively.
They can't run the ball. And
39 yards of offense in the first half.
Yeah.
We're the Wildcats 4-5, but what could have been, with better health and not giving away a couple of games in the final minute. 4th and 10, they're going to go for it, and they throw it. There's another lateral, and does it go out of bounds as Dalton picks it up, giving ground, throws into the bench, incomplete. That was ugly from the beginning. They just tried a little wide receiver screen from Drake Sellers to Dalton, and the pass was ugly, and I thought it was going to go out of bounds, and the Wildcats are going to take over on downs.
I had to laugh as the receiver in the middle of the field that was imploring them to throw him the ball. He didn't realize that they're under a little bit of duress there. There was no way they were going to be able to see him, first of all, and then throw the ball to him.
So Homer Center will take over at the Meyersdale 44-yard line. A lot can happen to kids after hours and not just on the gridiron. Fevers, falls, bumps, and bruises. If your child or teen needs care and your doctor's office is closed, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge is open. Weekdays and weekends from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge. Get in, get out, get better. Old Route 22 in Blairsville. So the Wildcats, shotgun snap, they give it to Landon Hill, lowers the shoulder inside the 40 to about the 38, maybe even the 37-yard line, plows Landon Hill.
Such a load to have come at you when you're getting beat like this. It's a tougher defense.
Colin Krause on the tackle. Quick stats presented by First Commonwealth Bank. All night long, let's update Landon Hill, who went over 1,000 yards rushing this season in the first half.
20 carries, 91 yards, and counting.
He's a sidecar to the right of Clevenger. Near side receivers, Krajosic, they give it to Hill. Hill cuts it and has a first down to the 30-yard line, or very, very close. See who made that tackle. Might have been...
It's 8 yards.
Devin Donica. I'm not sure, though. The strong safety. And Denny pointing on the chart. Denny, who you pointing to? McKenzie, maybe? One of the tackles. Either way, it's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. We don't have the benefit of the replay monitor in the booth tonight, but I know our viewers are seeing some replays. Twin receivers near side at the bottom of the screen. If you're watching, read option, Riley keeps it. Riley hops over one would-be tackler, and inside the 25 down to about the 22, maybe even the 21-yard line. And he just kind of had that little giddy up, didn't he, on that run? And Devin Donica, the strong safety, did make the tackle. Riley picks up 8. He's over about 116?
He's 14 carries for 120 yards.
120 yards for Clevenger, who worked really hard to come back from that ankle injury. I understand he got good treatment from the docs last weekend. And he's a gamer. He wants to be out there. That's what you like.
He plays the game the right way. There's no two ways about it.
2nd down and 2. They give to Landon Hill, bouncing it to the left edge. To the 20, down to about the 18-yard line, and another first down. Tomorrow we have the Appalachian Bowl, Penns Manor and Berlin Brothers Valley. Penns Manor is going to be without one of their key players. Ashton Corvina.
Corvina, yep.
Will be out of the game with concussion. I guess he was in tears trying to get back. He wanted to play, and the parents said... Well, not the parents, but the doctor hasn't cleared him yet. Billy Packer said, we're just going to hold him out a week, but he was devastated not to be there, but he wants to be out on the field helping his teammates. To give to Hill, and Hill breaks a tackle, and this Meyersdale defense just getting worn down.
Yeah, that's the case.
And now we have a timeout and a injury on Meyersdale. Homer Center leading 26-3, about 8 yards for Landon. And Landon, we can start maybe looking at the countdown clock to 2,000 yards in his career. You had an outstanding one of the running backs that went over 1,000 yards. Did Michael go over 2,000 in his career? I have my sheets here, but As a parent, Ward, you had a couple of players, and the concussions are a terrible thing, but you just like the fact that Corvina, wants to come back. Things are so different than from when even Michael played, with protocol and everything. And
he got his, what they say, the bell rung a few times out there, but he wanted to stay in a ball game. He wanted to continue to play, and that's just his attitude. However, both his mother and I want him to play, but we don't want him to play unless he's cleared, unless he is given a good, clean bill of health.
So if a doctor, say if your son was Ashton Corvina, he gets cleared, he's playing?
He'd be playing. My wife would want him to play more than me.
Yep, difficult situation.
But he loved football.
You just hate to see, because he's at the bank with the luncheon. I emceed the Appalachian Bowl luncheon on Wednesday, and you could just see the pain, how badly he wants to be there. You feel like you're letting down your teammates. And
well, he's not only a good offensive player, I thought he was really effective defensively. He was all along that line of scrimmage, getting into the backfield. He killed Homer Center.
Shame on you, Ward Hilliard. Michael Hilliard rushed for 2,330 yards. He's one of the 9 on my sheet that have rushed for over 2,000. And his senior season in 1998, 1,657 yards. The injured ball player is Zach Sumi for Meyersdale, and they're helping him off the field. And
it's like a leg injury there.
Yeah. The Wildcats will have 2nd down and 2 to go.
But we got 3:54 here in the third period. Homer could pretty much ice this with a score here, and maybe we could see some substitutions not too long after.
Riley Clevenger, a little bit of a limp as he came out onto the field. Michael Krajosik joins him in the backfield. They have Landon Hill as their slot receiver to the right, and they're just I'm not sure if what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the 2 players that helped their teammate Sumi off the field to the trainer's table to get out there. I don't think they wanted to snap the ball with 9 on the field, so Malachi Carr and their outstanding middle linebacker Colin Kraus trot out onto the field. Wildcats 2nd down and 2 from the 10-yard line. Riley Clevenger waits for the shotgun snap from Joe Succiarelli. Hands it to Krajosik. Big hole off the left side. Easy trip to the end zone from 10 yards out for Michael Krajosik, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. And the Wildcats are blowing it open. It's 32-3 with 3:37 remaining in the third quarter. That was a gaping hole opened up by the O-line.
That's what we were expecting to see from these guys. And I think, as we said, Mark, they're just basically wearing down the Meyersdale defense. They've been on the field way too long.
Krajosik will try again on these extra points.
I'm trying to see who that center is. It's hard to. I don't think it's.
Clevenger, the holder.
Might be done.
And the snap is put down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good this time inside that right upright. Teams come upfield on an IRMC High School Sports Night on WCCS, Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. It's Homer Center now 33, and the Meyersdale Red Raiders 3 on the Renda Media Football Network.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
And a squib kick coming near side, picked up on a couple of hops. I think that's Hetz. And Hetz pushed back by Michael Krajosik and Jackson Arone. And it was Bryson Hetz, and the Meyersdale Red Raiders will start this drive at their own 38-yard line with 3:32 remaining in the third quarter.
They have just not had much success. Well, they have had almost no success running the football. So their passing game suffers as a result. Beautiful night, though, isn't it? A little cool, but clear.
Great accommodations here at Meyersdale. Shotgun snap, and rolling to his right, throwing, has a receiver, and Sellers for about 7 yards. Although he gave some ground, the receiver did. And let's see who that is with the football. It's Malachi Carr. Which quarterback threw that? That was Drake. They do give him the 45-yard line. On the tackle, Will Jones.
7 yards on that. Been a while since they've had a completion, so that ought to feel pretty good.
2nd down and 3. They haven't had many first downs in this game.
Oh, my.
You can count them on one hand, I know that. H-back in there now for the Red Raiders, and quarterback draw. And Dalton Sellers keeps the football, and I think he's going to be stopped a yard shy of that lead chain. I want to thank Craig Gindelsberger, the athletic director, Ryan Donaldson, the head coach, IT, Jim, the IT guy. I'm not sure Jim's Johnson, I think, is the IT guy here, and they're going to bring the chains in for a measurement, I do believe. This is a very nice press box. And I like the sidebar window they have here, Ward.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it gives you a look at an angle you can see down to the end zone rather than looking into a wall. Well done. I don't know who designed it, but they had
media
people
in mind.
There in mind. Yep.
Workers and media. Yeah, nice new press box. Shotgun snap, pressure up the middle. Sellers eludes pressure from Vinny Taglietti, who shot through, throws on the run, has a receiver, and forced out of bounds by Jackson Arone. And getting loose on that far sideline, that was Malachi Carr. Again, the Wildcats secondary continues to struggle. And that was a great job by Drake Sellers to avoid that pressure up the middle. Vinny Taglietti probably can't believe that he didn't wrap him up.
No, he went down there like a bull, but went zipping by him. And Sellers throws a nice ball. He's got good tight spirals.
Entered the game 23 of 51 for 335 yards and a couple of touchdowns. I'll give you an interesting rushing stat on him. He sends his brother Dalton in motion, and he throws it to Dalton, who's open by 10 yards, has a first down, and they spin down to the 35-yard line. If Homer Center goes to Northern Cambria next week against Booker, he's going to rip them apart if they continue playing pass defense like this. It's a first down for the Meyersdale Red Raiders.
Yeah, that's been their demise here, especially in those last second losses. Simple outs.
We were talking over the secondary probably cost Homer Center 2 games alone. 1st and 10 at the 35. Shotgun snap to Drake Sellers, boots to his right, throws on the run, has a receiver open again, and is that Carr at about the 21-yard line of the Wildcats? It might be Tristan Oler. It is. And Oler hauled that in again, where nobody around him.
Did a nice job there. He just kind of circled out of the backfield. Looked like he was going to curl in and then just slipped in behind the defense. He was wide open. Nice pattern.
Mark it at the Homer Center 21.
14 yards on that.
Back-to-back completions. And the Red Raiders are in business trying to score a touchdown here. Their only points, they scored the first points of the game on a 36-yard field goal. Here's Dalton Sellers on the run. He runs into Braden Dunn as he gets to about the 10-yard line for going to be close to 10 yards on that gain. And
Looks like he got
It is, yeah. They're going to give him 11 from the 21 to the 10-yard line.
getting a little confidence here, and their passing has kind of opened it up for their offense a little bit. That is Dalton calling the plays right now.
Romy Dokos, Vinny Taglietti, and Isaiah Bentz along the front wall for Homer Center. I failed to mention, that Aiden Bikina did get cleared yesterday. He may be in uniform. I don't know. Denny could spot him, but wasn't expected to play tonight, but he could be back next week, and there's a flag on the play, and it might be delay of game on...
they called timeout.
Oh, timeout.
Just
Meyersdale.
that.
We'll take 1-2 on an IRMC High School Sports Night on WCCS and Renda Digital TV, presented by our good friends at the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Threes are wild on the board. It's Homer Center 33, Meyersdale 3 on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
Team Ward Hilliard and Mark Berta got a text in the booth. Somebody wants to know who the 2,000-yard rushers are. So,
we got them.
I will tell you who the 8 are, with Landon Hill closing in, close to becoming number 9. But first and goal for the Meyersdale Red Raiders. Sellers throws, has a receiver out in the flat. It is Drake Sellers throwing to Dalton Sellers for about 6 yards to the 4-yard line, tackled by Casey Harper. Ward, you have the goal line behind you, so I don't know how you can give ground into the end zone on these passes. Now, if you give ground to the back line of the end zone and they catch it, I think they know it's going to be a touchdown.
Well, you're floating out of the backfield, and they're not coming up right away to pick them up. I think they're worried about getting burned deep. That just leaves that flat wide open.
Our texter is going to have to wait to the other side of the break to learn who the 8 2,000-yard rushers are. We'll tell you when we return. All Homer Center here tonight after 3 on an IRMC High School Sports Night. It's Homer Center 33, Meyersdale Red Raiders 3. Meyersdale 4 yards away from a touchdown when we return on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
Looking for fun for the entire family? White Township Recreation is now the hub for all of your youth and adult recreation programming. Programming is now open online for registration. White Township Rec offers anything from art classes to gymnastics to bowling to boxing, fitness classes, and much, much more. For more information on public skating, including birthday parties and recreation programs, please visit whitetownshiprec.org. That's whitetownshiprec.org. See you at Public Skate, S&T Bank Arena.
You at Meyersdale, 33-3 Homer Center as we start the fourth quarter. But Meyersdale, second down and goal.
Good challenge for the Homer D to see if they can keep them out of the end zone here.
Man in motion, they go from the shotgun and rolling and throwing for the end zone. It's batted away by Homer Center's Will Jones, the intended receiver Malachi Carr. So it'll be 3rd down and 4. All right, here we go. We'll see how many I can get in here. Homer Center's 2,000-yard rushers. All-time leading rusher, all-time everything. Ben Schmidt, 3,404 yards. He's the only one over 3. Jesse Lee, or check that, 2 over 3,000. Jesse Lee, 3,262 yards. He's in second place. His brother Ian Lee, 2,879 yards. Pete Kuda, 76 to 78 years, 2,590 yards. We'll get back to it. Third down and goal. Sellers throwing out in the flat, incomplete. Will Jones on the coverage as Drake undershot his brother Dalton, so now it'll be fourth down and goal from the 4. Okay, fifth place. Mike Newhouse from 2010 to 13 racked up 2,460. Mike Hilliard from 96 to 98, 2,330. Seventh, Sean Buggy from 1999 to 2001, 2,267. And Matt Finauti led Homer Center to the first District 6 championship of 4 that are in the trophy case from 83 to 85. He finished with 2,003 yards on 407 carries. There you have it, Ward. Fourth down and goal, rolling to his right, being pressured by Bell, and it's intercepted. Will Jones up the left sideline to the 10, to the 15, 30. He may take it the distance. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the Red Raider 30, to the 20, to the 10, and a touchdown for Will Jones, a 95-yard interception return. That's close to a school record, and the Wildcats lead it 39-3. Will Jones electrifying here at Meyersdale.
Went to the well too often with those flat passes there. They tried to sneak one in. Will Jones watched that very well and jumped the route, made the catch, and he was gone. Nice speed in the open field too.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. Going to confirm the distance on that.
Well, they answered my question. Can they hold? First and goal from the 4.
And a fourth turnover for Meyersdale. To attempt the extra point, Michael Krajosik out of the hold of Riley Clevenger. Long snapper, Braden Dunn, and the snap is good. It's kicked again by Krajosik. Just having trouble getting underneath the football. So it was at the 5-yard line. A 95-yard interception return gives Homer Center a 39-3 lead with 11:34 remaining in the football game on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the Renda Media Football Network.
11:34 left in the fourth.
This is State Senator Joe Pittman, wishing all of our student athletes and their families every success. Friday Night Lights are always exciting, and I recognize how important it is for students to be involved in activities, whether it be in athletics or the performing arts. I salute not only all of our students, but also all who guide them, on and off the gridiron, and I wish all of our hometown teams the best of luck this season.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
Meyersdale, Mason Bell teeing it up. 95-yard pick 6 for Will Jones. That might be a school record, huh?
I did very well, could be. I cannot think of any that were any longer than that.
Squib kick is covered by Meyersdale. Let's see who pounced on that football. It was Bryson Hetz. Ward, I was in Indianapolis for a few days at a conference, and I'm not sure who it was that texted me, wanted to know what's the longest field goal in Wildcat history, and I went back and forth even with former coach Ron Coleman, had a foreign exchange student by the name of Ten Norder, but he never kicked a field goal. I know John Long's, I think, was 27 yards at Mansion Park to win a district championship. Jim Lewis, I think it was, kicked one. but I'm not sure how far that was.
One.
To win a district championship. Passing out in the flat, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver, Colin Kraus, the quarterback, Dalton Sellers. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Running clock now. We're in the mercy rule. 39-3.
That ball should have been caught. That was well thrown. Just didn't gather it in.
So if you longtime Wildcat fans have any of that information,
I don't know. Jason Buggy kicked it.
I think Eric Bella kicked a long one back in the 90s.
Yeah, 61
in the regular
yards
season.
it was.
Yeah, no, it wasn't 61 yards. Maybe Eric would tell you 61.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10.
It's longer every year.
Drake Sellers almost sacked, and now he is sacked, dragged down from behind by Mason Bell as he sacks him back at the 35-yard line. Oh, it's Cupcake? Isaiah Bentz. Sorry about that, Cupcake. I took the icing right off of the sack stat. It's 3rd down and 14 to go. We want to say hello to our traveling secretary. We are so loaded with staff. Our normal statistician, Jerry Rossai, our executive producer, Michael Burdig, our video producers, John Smathers, our spotter is Dennis Mester, his evaluator tonight, Jim McLaughlin, in the house, Ward Hilliard, and yours truly, Mark Burdig. And we now have a traveling secretary. Blindside hit almost, but it's caught over the middle, and running with the football's Dalton Sellers to the Homer Center 41 or 42-yard line as they got beat again in the passing game, although they do have some younger players in there now, I do believe. Maybe not. Let's see. Well, let's see, for Homer Center, they do have Ocean Maritita in the secondary.
That was a well-thrown ball and an even better catch. That was, I got 24 yards on that.
So our traveling secretary, Jimmy Sutter, he takes care of us by planning our post-game meals now. We just keep growing, Ward. It's amazing.
He said send a check to him.
1st and 10. He also said drop off a piece of pie. Not pizza pie, a piece of pie. Pass out in the right flat to Tristan Oler, tackled by Ocean Maritita of the Homer Center Wildcats.
About a 4-yard pickup.
8:50, clock moving here at Meyersdale. We'll try to unsort the playoff mess for you on our First Commonwealth Bank postgame show. End of 3 quarters on our out-of-town scoreboard. 28-14, Northern Cambria leads Conemaugh Township. 41-6, River Valley over Everett. Drake Sellers throws over the middle, incomplete, threw into double coverage, intended for Malachi Carr, and it will be 3rd down. I just heard, let's see who texted. I'm not sure who this is that texted me, but you could let me know who you are. Not in my directory, but Eric Bella kicked a 39-yard field goal. So if you know the year, I can look that up to confirm it. But it would have been in the 90s, I know that.
That would have been it. I don't know if there's one ever kicked farther than that.
3rd down and 6, firing over the middle, Drake Sellers, incomplete, intended for Ian Brenneman. And it will be 4th down with 7:40, and the clock moving even on the incomplete pass with the mercy rule. Mike Grimes texting us, and I'm assuming that's Junior. Mike Grimes Jr., his dad also a big Wildcat supporter.
See what you stirred up? These people are probably wanting to go to bed.
Dick Yancey was questioning us on those 2,000-yard rushers. Dick, we're happy to give you that information and glad you're watching or listening tonight. To all of our Wildcat fans who are so loyal, pass intended from Drake Sellers to Dalton Sellers falls incomplete, and Meyersdale is going to turn it over on downs to Homer Center at their own 37-yard line.
You talk about Homer fans. They get a fair contingent here that drove up here. We got a pretty fair group over there.
Well, maybe they heard about Mel's Diner.
Downtown Somerset, just a pole vault and a broad jump from the red
That's what
light.
Jimmy said. He made our traveling secretary made some phone calls, and he said that Out to tell John Smathers, Mel's Diner's open till 1 a.m. according to our new traveling secretary, Jimmy Sutter. So
John's not impressed.
John said Dino's is down over the mountain.
I'll go there.
We have a timeout going to be called by Homer Centers. They want to get organized with some subs. 6:41 remaining in the football game on an IRMC High School Sports Night on WCCS. Rented Digital TV presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. It's all Homer Center. 39 unanswered points. They lead 39-3 on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall, located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, features an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage and refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a brand new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The Twin Cities Event Hall is perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings, located off Route 119 in Grayston on Neal Road. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
Find your smile again with Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana, offering hair alternatives and solutions for any lifestyle and need. Build your confidence with a personalized one-on-one consultation with experienced stylist Lisa Hunter, and take the steps to regain your life with one of Evolution 2's many hair solutions available. There is a fit for everyone, from adults to children. So call or find Evolutions 2 on Facebook. Evolutions 2 in downtown Indiana. Find your smile again.
Luther Ford.
Henry.
Logan Henry on that carry for the Homer Center Wildcats, and he loses 2 yards. So Logan, one of the seniors, one of 14 seniors. Good news, Aiden Bikina Ward may be close to returning. Could see him next week to open the playoffs.
Oh, he'd be a big help.
Braden Dunn, the sophomore quarterback, goes empty and trips to the right, Twins near side. Tight end right, and they put a man in motion. That's Maritita, and they hand the football off to Ocean. And Ocean flung down with some authority by Colin Kraus, who treated him like a rag doll. And going to lose a yard back to the 34-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 13. That was kind of an unceremonious welcome to the game tackle.
Don't stick the stiff arm out there, because you're just going to get spun to the ground with it.
IUP football tomorrow at Gannon University. Hawks are undefeated. Hey, join us Monday night at the Hilton Garden Inn, C.H. Fields Restaurant, for the Paul Tortorella Show, Hawk Talk. It's a lot of fun. And 6 to 7 o'clock, join us at Hilton Garden Inn. Give to Henry, and Henry going to lose some more yardage back to the 30. And the Wildcats, 3 plays, they lose 7 yards. Not ideal, Ward.
No, you like to pad your stats, but not in the reverse here.
Mike Krajosik out to punt the football. Stands inside his own 20. Running the play clock down. 8 seconds. They do snap it, and the kick is away. It's high. A pretty good kick, really. Fair catch called for it, but Malachi Carr backs away from it and picks it up on a hop and goes down on one knee. And good sportsmanship by Homer Center to Reese Wagner downfield on the kick coverage team. And I'm not sure, after you call fair catch, you let it bounce and then you pick it up, if he could have hit him legally or not.
He went to a knee, so he's giving himself up.
Yep.
So he probably would draw a flag if you'd have hit him.
And there's no need with 4:17 remaining.
No, not really.
And what do we have? A timeout called by Homer Center with 4:17 remaining in the football game. We'll have a running clock to the finish line when we return. 4:17 is all that remains on an IRMC High School Sports Night. 39-3 Homer Center on the Renda Media Football Network.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, order your new Ford and lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months, no matter when your new vehicle comes in. That's right, order your new vehicle now and your interest rate is locked in even if rates go up. Just stop in today and drive away in your new vehicle from Luther Ford. Luther Ford, two great locations, Homer City and Evansburg. Click on lutherford.com.
Are you thinking of getting vaccinated? Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the COVID-19 vaccine. The Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania would like to remind you that COVID-19 vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months. Talk to your doctor, your child's pediatrician, or your pharmacist if you have questions. You can also learn more by visiting vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Message made possible by the Health Initiative for Rural Pennsylvania.
Is the quarterback, Dalton Sellers, run out of bounds by Josh Voluchek of the Wildcats. Gain of about 8 yards on that play, W.A.
Nice run by Sellers. Little spin move at the quarterback position and then got to the end, turned upfield. Oh, they only got about 5 yards on that.
Oh, they marked him out of bounds at the 37.
Now that messes all my math up. There, it's fixed. Jerry, where are you?
There's a fumble on the play as the exchange wasn't clean, and I think Homer Center, they have their 5th turnover of the night, and they do. It might have been Voluchek or 54. 60 was it? Voluchek.
Yeah,
yep.
Voluchek.
So the Wildcats with 3:11 will take over. 5th Meyersdale turnover award. That'll get your plus minus back to.
That's why you're 2-6. Or 2-7, I should say.
About to be, yep.
You cannot turn the ball over. Not that often.
3:11 remaining. Homer Center at the Meyersdale 39.
Yes, to find these numbers here. Who's in the backfield now?
They hand it off, and with the football, the Homer Center Wildcats are on the right end. And running down the right sideline, it is Brian Mills, and Mills takes it to the house for the sophomore's first varsity touchdown from 39 yards out. The Wildcats now lead 45-3. Brian Mills with the touchdown run, and that was a nice-looking run, wasn't it?
Who is Brian Mills? Man, that was spectacular. He made a nice cut, turned the Jets on. Man, that's a beautiful run. Wow. I haven't seen him all season.
They're going to go for 2. Braden Dunn, shotgun snap, and he hands it off and running up the middle and not getting anywhere for the Homer Center Wildcats. Looking for my 20 chart here, 28 it was, Cody Bell. But the teams come upfield with 2:43 remaining. It's now Homer Center 45 and the Meyersdale Red Raiders 3 on the Renda Media Football Network.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
This is your state
and picking it up, and maybe sorry he did, for the Meyersdale Red Raiders. That was Caden Snyder. And for Homer Center, is that 11, Dennis?
11 was done.
Zach Rouser.
Nice to talk about
A couple of
few
these seniors,
kids.
you know, have gotten some PT that don't play. Ward Zach Rouser, one of them. Talked about Logan Henry. They work hard all season long. They stick with it. It'd be, in this day and age, the society we live in, sometimes kids want to give up. And those two kids have stuck with it, and my hat's off to them.
Amen. Amen. That's what makes the team good.
There's another fumbled snap, and does Homer Center have a sixth turnover as a quarterback in there, Lance Jones, a freshman, bobbled it, but they got it back.
Yeah, we talked about, I watched over the sideline. Riley Clevenger was the first man on the field to congratulate those kids coming off after they scored. That's the kind of kid he is. He just loves the game.
We're down to 1:55, clock moving here at Meyersdale. It's been all Homer Center after Meyersdale took a short-lived 3-0 lead. Michael Krajosik returned the ensuing kickoff, and the young quarterback, Lance Jones, just got popped pretty good. Defensively for Homer Center, Drew Fisher, I think that was in there, 54 and 58. I don't have a 54 on my roster. Jackson Supko in there defensively, so apologies. Obviously a number change made on us. We don't have a 54. I don't know.
I don't either.
Third down and 14.
Receiver, sophomore.
Yeah, they have hopes for him as a lineman. He was out with some concussion issues this season. Toss left from Sellers, and let's see who has the football. Was it 26? Can't get. I think it was Tristan Oler. Josh Voluchek on the tackle for Homer Center, and it's going to be 4th down and 10. We're under a minute to play. Trotting in to the huddle, Drake Sellers. Homer Center will get ready for the playoffs, perhaps a trip to Northern Cambria next weekend. The way things were looking, we'll try to update our scoreboard on our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show if we can. Jerry Rossai has been feeding us scores. I formation, and it's a toss right. And with the football and some running room, but short of that lead yard marker, is the ball carrier, Sean Voluchek, again on the tackle. And we're down to 13 seconds, and Meyersdale, that's a change of possession. Or no. I think it's going to be Homer Center football. It is. And then we'll just restart the clock.
Are you crying?
Unless Homer Center has to run a play.
Yes, you are.
So the Wildcats are going to finish the regular season 4-4. And they're going to run the clock out. And we're going to have a final score here tonight. So the Wildcats, after a sluggish start, got things going, had some splash plays tonight, including a long kickoff return from Michael Krajosik and a 95-yard pick six from Will Jones. And they end up winning it going away. And it has to feel good for Homer Center and head coach Greg Page and the staff, because it's been a frustrating season with the injuries and all. And they level off the record at 5-5, and you get into the playoffs, anything can happen, and I'm sure that's how they're going to approach it.
You just mentioned a couple guys that are starting to get healthy, and maybe they get those guys back also, and you know, you go in there with a little momentum, and that's the key. And if they do go to Northern Cambria, they're playing a team that they've already beaten, so they know a little bit about them. There won't be any surprises there. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned Homer Northern ball game.
All right, we have a final score here from Meyersdale, and Homer Center wins it running away from the Red Raiders 45-3. Coming back with our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show, including an interview with head coach Greg Page. We'll have radio replays on the other side of the break when we return on the Renda Media Football Network.
This is your state representative, Jim Struzzi, and I'm asking for your vote this November. The last couple of years have been something we could never have imagined, and now we are getting back to normal, and nothing is more normal than Friday night football. I want to wish all our area athletes, band members, cheerleaders, and all who participate the best of luck for a safe, successful, and fun-filled season. These games wouldn't happen without the support of the community, and I will continue to work hard for you and your families in Indiana County. Me and my staff wish you good luck, and I'll be rooting for each and every one of you, and I hope that you'll be rooting for me this November.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right, London. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 5 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, an equal opportunity employer.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Back to our first Commonwealth Bank post-game show. A mercy rule victory for the Homer Center Wildcats as they finish 5-5. Meyersdale finishes their season 2-7 on to the playoffs for the Homer Center Wildcats for a 7th consecutive year. Meyersdale actually scored the first points in this ball game on their second possession. They started at the Homer Center 37-yard line on an Ian Brenneman interception. Actually, he returned it to the Homer Center 20-yard line. 3 plays, they gained no yards, but they brought their field goal kicker onto the field, Tristan Oler, and he drilled a 36-yard field goal to give them a 3-0 lead at the 5:05 mark. But the Wildcats answered in a hurry on the ensuing kickoff. As a matter of fact, it sounded like this.
Turn out over the 40, the 50, down the right sideline. They're not going to catch him. He blows right by a Red Raider, and he takes it the distance, 89 yards for a Wildcat touchdown. And Michael Krajosik, a special team splash play, and Homer Center has the lead with 4:51 remaining in the first quarter. It's 6-3 Homer Center.
After Caleb Palmer recovered a fumble, the second turnover on the Red Raiders at that point. They committed 5 in the game. The Wildcats started at the Red Raider 47-yard line, 5 plays, 47 yards, including 2 21-yard runs, one from Krajosik, one from quarterback Riley Clevenger, but it was junior running back Landon Hill who finished off the drive on this play.
Snap a little bit behind Clevenger. He hands it off to Hill. Hill to the 5, Hill to the goal line. Touchdown, Homer Center Wildcats, I do believe. Although we don't have a signal yet. And now we have a signal, and it is 6 points. Riley Hill's 14th touchdown of the season, and Homer Center leads 13-3 with 2:06 remaining in the first quarter.
Landon Hill with the touchdown. Extra point fell. It was 13-3 at that point. We headed to the second quarter. Homer Center on the first play of the quarter, they started at their own 43-yard line. They worked it down the field, an 8-play, 57-yard drive. And on a 2nd down and 1, Riley Clevenger kind of got lost in a mass of humanity and ended up taking it to the house.
3rd down and a yard, Riley Clevenger under center, quarterback keeper, and he keeps the legs going, and look at him go, and he breaks a tackle, 30, 20, 15, 10. He's going to take it to the house from 39 yards out. And the Wildcats extend their lead 19-3. Just kind of got lost in the shuffle there, Riley Clevenger did. And he has his second rushing touchdown of the season. Coming off of an injury, Riley Clevenger makes it 19-3 with 8:59 left in the first half.
Michael Krajosic's extra point made it 20-3. And Homer Center, their next possession, they worked it down to the 10-yard line, but ended up bogging down and had to turn it over. They were sacked on fourth down. But on that drive, congratulations to Landon Hill, who went over 1,000 yards rushing for the season on a 7-yard gain. So we were 20-3 at the half. The Wildcats kind of put things away on their first possession of the second half. Riley Clevenger went over 100 yards rushing in the game, and he had a 23-yard run to the Meyersdale 8-yard line to go over the century mark. And then on a second down and goal from the 3, he finished things off.
Second and goal, Clevenger, quarterback keeper. Clevenger, a touchdown for the Homer Center Wildcats as they march it 60 yards, and they now have a comfortable 26-3 lead over the Meyersdale Red Raiders. Riley Clevenger having himself a night, isn't he?
Coming off of an injury, he certainly did have a big night. The kick was no good. The 8-play, 60-yard drive took 3 minutes, 53 seconds. 26-3, 4 minutes in to that third quarter. Wildcats' next possession after the defense forced another 3 and out. They had a third down and goal from the Meyersdale 10-yard line. Michael Krajosic got into the act again.
Riley Clevenger waits for the shotgun snap from Joe Succiarelli. Hands it to Krajosic. Big hole out the left side. Easy trip to the end zone from 10 yards out for Michael Krajosic, his second rushing touchdown of the season. And the Wildcats are blowing it open. It's 32-3 with 3:37 remaining in the third quarter. That was a gaping hole opened up by the O-line.
Krajosic, the extra point, made it 33-3, 7-play, 44-yard drive. And that's where we were at after 3 quarters. One of the most exciting plays of the night, in addition to Krajosic's long kickoff return, came early in the fourth quarter with Meyersdale driving. They got to the Wildcat 4-yard line, but they ended up faced with a fourth down and goal at the 4.
Fourth down and goal, rolling to his right, being pressured by Bell. It's intercepted. Will Jones up the left sideline to the 10, to the 15, 30. He may take it the distance. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the Red Raider 30, to the 20, to the 10, and a touchdown for Will Jones, a 95-yard interception return. That's close to a school record, and the Wildcats lead it 39-3. Will Jones electrifying here at Meyersdale.
Krajosic's kick was no good. That might be a school record, actually. 39-3. We'll have to delve into our record book. It was 39-3 at the 11:34 mark, and then late in the game, a young sophomore by the name of Brian Mills, a pretty nifty run for his first varsity touchdown to close out the scoring.
They hand it off, and with the football, the Homer Center Wildcats over on the right end. And running down the right sideline, it is Brian Mills, and Mills takes it to the house for the sophomore's first varsity touchdown from 39 yards out. The Wildcats now lead 45-3. Brian Mills with the touchdown run, and that was a nice-looking run, wasn't it?
Cody Bell was stopped on the 2-point conversion, and we had a final score of 45-3. When our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show continues, Ward Hilliard will look at the stats, and we'll have a visit with head coach Greg Page as well. That and more right here as Homer Center wins at 45-3. On to the playoffs for the Wildcats. Coming back with more on the Renda Media Football Network.
The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club is making a splash, continuing to grow its membership. The Sportsman's Club features a fishing pond that is well stocked. Inside the club, members can enjoy a game of pool, or how about shuffleboard? What's your favorite team, including the Wildcats and more? The Grayston Coral Sportsman's also has a shooting range and takes pride hosting kid-friendly events. And be sure to check out the nearby Twin Cities Event Hall for your next special occasion. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, located off Route 119 on Neal Road in Grayston.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Recently voted Best Landscaping Company in Indiana County, Johnston Nursery Landscaping has been serving the area since 2002 in all phases of landscaping. J&L's primary focus is year-round property maintenance, driveway seal coating, excavation, and wholesale and retail Christmas tree sales. Let J&L take away the hassle of fall leaf cleanup and also help with those fall landscaping projects. It's a great time of year to work on those beautiful home projects. Check them out on Facebook. Johnston Nursery Landscape.
Looking for one of the coolest new products in the market, or maybe looking for that unique Christmas present? Psst, it will cure your pain at the pump.
SeaWorld Satellites is now offering the Go Express e-bike, made for the urban commuter and weekend adventurer, combining city cruising and all-terrain riding. From pavement to hills, streets to sand, take your Go Express bike to your next meeting or exploration. This e-bike can run up to 18 miles in electric mode. To look at or take a test ride, come to SeaWorld Satellites on Wayne Avenue in Indiana.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home is behind you.
And online at WCCSradio.com with the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick.
Back with you on our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show with Homer Center Wildcat head coach Greg Page. And, Coach, congratulations on a victory. Nice to have a breather for a change.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look that way early on. They got a pick and then a field goal. Credit to our defense for, holding them to 3. The defense played great all night long, I thought. The team has some athletes. They were doing a good job of kind of stuffing the run early on. We found a few things and cracked a few things and just kept chipping away at it. And I told our guys, the best thing I saw afterwards was everybody got in the game, got some quality snaps, and just all the smiles on everybody's faces. That's what we wanted to see for quite a while.
And you had a couple of splash plays, which are always fun. After that 36-yard field goal from Oler gave them the lead, you had a quick answer, Michael Krajosik with the long kickoff return.
I mean, we talked before the game. I said, you're our big-time player. I said, I just want to see you make plays tonight. He had a pick. He had that kickoff return, which was huge just to get us back in rhythm there. He had a nice touchdown run on the little slice play. He had a real nice jet run, too, and there was pressure in the backfield in the first quarter, I believe.
Yeah, it helped set up the second touchdown.
Yeah. So those are the kind of plays he can make and that we need him to make, and plays from a lot of guys. I mean, it was great. Will Jones really, the game was virtually over at that point, but that was really a dagger. That I don't even know how long it was.
95 yards.
Yeah, great play by him. Brian Mills at the end is great.
Yeah, where's he been?
Yeah. Logan Henry was in before him, and Logan's like, where was that blocking when I was running the ball? And it's just great to see those guys just make plays. We had younger kids in there making nice tackles. I'm happy for the staff and the kids. Obviously we're gonna play somebody very formidable next week, but this is a great confidence boost.
It doesn't really matter, but Braden Dunn with a heads-up play, and the replay showed it was clearly a lateral, and we think the side judge just got caught napping a little bit on the near sideline, and it didn't end up hurting you. As a matter of fact, the defense stopped Meyersdale, and then you punched one in early in the second quarter on Riley Clevenger's 39-yard touchdown run. I said he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just doesn't, on either side of the ball, Coach, in my opinion, Riley doesn't give up on plays. And he got kind of caught in a scrum, massive humanity, and the next thing you know, he emerges and runs 39 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a sneak. I mean, we were working on it this week. I said, we're not going to – it's a Sansos call, wedgie, Sansos. So a little plug for Forrest there. But I said, we're not going to run it like we used to where we jump up behind center and try to make a quick – so we've been going under center quite a bit now. So just go up and we're going to run a sneak. I mean, let's see if they're ready for it. I saw him get 5-6 yards. All of a sudden, he's breaking out of the pile, and I'm screaming, go, and he can't hear me, but – just great individual effort. I mean, you mentioned Dunn. Dunn made some plays all over the field tonight. I mean, he's just Mr. Dependable. So many contributions. Landon ran like the horse that we know he is. And the guys up front, I mean, they were bringing pressure early on. We solved it. We figured it out, and then we just started grinding.
Landon Hill over 1,000 yards rushing this season, and he's not 100%. It's no secret, but he just continues to grind.
Yeah, it's remarkable considering what he's been going through. He is getting healthier, and that's just a testament to him and the guys up front. I mean, we see a lot of pressure every week. I mean, people want to play these defenses where they want to fire linebackers every other play, and it is what it is. It's still football. You got to be able to come off and make those reads, and he gets tough yards.
Let me ask you this, because our opinion doesn't really matter, but we weren't particularly happy with how the O-line played in the first half. You came out in the second half with a lot of I formation to start the second half. Was that anything to do with that in challenging your offensive line at halftime?
A little bit. They were making some of the traps tough because 21 is a really good backer, and when he plays downhill, he was really hurting us. More so in the first half. We thought we'd come out with a lead back in the backfield. It's simple football, down, kick out, and you got a guy like Landon that can do that too and carry the ball. We adjusted him. He was running a little bit too tight on some of those, and then it just worked. It worked in that first drive. I really believe that was the one that set the tone for the remainder of the game.
On to the playoffs next week. It looked like Northern Bedford was well on their way to defeating Cambria Heights, and Northern Cambria on their way to defeating Conemaugh Township. That would mean a trip to Northern Cambria. I haven't figured out bonus or the PowerPoints and all of that, but I think you're going to stick at 7th and maybe go to Northern Cambria next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I told our guys, whoever we play is going to be a good opponent. I mean, obviously, I think the top 3 or 4 could be Heritage teams. If Portage losing, I guess that's probably not the case. But the top 3, we've played them all. We lost the 2 of them. We beat Northern. We were fortunate. Northern's a good football team. I mean, we can't – it's almost like you just got to throw that one away. It was week 5. Things have changed for both teams. But you know what? I know what Sam's going to do. He's going to prepare his kids hard and have a good game plan. We need to do the same thing.
Coach, you'll get on the bus and head down 219 after a gratifying, satisfying 45-3 victory. It's going to feel good, and it'll be a shorter trip home as a result. Congratulations.
Thank you guys very much.
That's head coach Greg Page. If you're watching, he's Greg Page. I'm Mark Burdig, and we'll continue with more. Landon Hill standing by. We'll have him on the other side of the break when our First Commonwealth Bank postgame show continues. 45-3 Homer Center. On to the playoffs for the Wildcats on the Renda Media Football Network.
When your vehicle needs tended to, take it to Baroni's Auto Care. Baroni's Auto Care inspects, does minor repairs including brakes and exhausts, as well as oil changes and tune-ups. And if you're looking for tires, Baroni's Auto Care sells all brands. Baroni's Auto Care is currently accepting new customers. So when your vehicle needs inspected or repaired, take it to Baroni's Auto Care right off Route 56. Look for the sign in Brush Valley.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well. From your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Business happens here, and here, and here. At First Commonwealth, we believe that to be the best bank for the businesses that create strong communities, we need to understand the way they work, see their companies firsthand, meet them face to face, and build a relationship so we can help them build their business.
Looking for
WCCS, AM 1160 and 101.1 FM, and online at WCCSradio.com with the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick.
Back with you on our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show. 45-3, Homer Center with a Mercy Rule victory over the Meyersdale Red Raiders. And I have one of the standouts in this game, as he generally is, wearing the black and white, Landon Hill. Landon, a lot more fun when you win, and this one was relatively easy.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's just a lot easier when you have a line doing the things they did for us tonight, getting the push up front on offense, bringing the pressure on defense makes things a lot easier for us.
You became the 19th running back in the great history of Homer Center football to rush for over 1,000 yards in a single season. You accomplished that, I believe that was in the second quarter when you went over 1,000 yards, and you just kind of were grinding it out, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards at a time, and it was a 7-yard run that got you over 1,000. You probably weren't even aware of it.
No, I knew I was close. He talked to me last week. I'm not really worried about that stuff. I knew our line was giving us a push. I knew if I could move the ball, we'd eventually get down into the end zone. And that's what we did. We had different guys step up, make plays tonight, and we got out of here with a victory.
I think you had a 10-yard touchdown run tonight as well. Talk about the line play early on in the game. Things were tough, but they started coming together, didn't they?
Yeah. We loosened some things up. Obviously, we have Coach Raymond, great coach. I'm sure he was messing with it, changing things around. And, we just came out firing. They were getting a push. Everywhere we looked, we had a push, leaving us one, maybe sometimes none, no guys to miss. And, we just kept pounding it, and we were moving the ball.
You have not been 100%. You have been battling through injury. I don't want you to talk about the specific injury. We'll do it like hockey players do. We'll call it lower body, upper body, middle body, whatever it is. We'll keep it between us. But how difficult has it been for you to kind of grind things out, and how important has the training staff been to you?
The training staff's been great. Taking things easy throughout the week, getting the reps that I need, but at a good pace. Once my guys up front start getting it moving like they did tonight, it makes it a lot easier on me, and I can continue to be more efficient.
On to the playoffs with the way things broke tonight on our out-of-town scoreboard. Looks like it'll be a trip to Duffy Doherty Stadium up at Northern Cambria, a team that you handed their first loss. They were undefeated in Week 5. It's a different Northern Cambria team, and frankly, it's a different Wildcat team right now with what's happened with the injuries. So what do you think about the possibility, if that's the way it plays out, of heading back to Northern Cambria?
We got to do what we got to do. If that's how it ends up and that's where we got to go, hopefully we can get back to the drawing board this week and come back even better next week and take care of business.
I did want to ask you two final things. Riley Clevenger steps into a difficult role. Everybody knows about the Wildcat quarterback situation. Can you talk about his play and the energy he brings on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, Riley's been incredible, especially coming in from slot wide receiver. He stepped up amazingly. His leadership, he gets the line moving, our receivers, he gets them all pumped up. I'm definitely confident next to him in the backfield. I'm confident we can get the job done together. And, he's filled in great, and we've got the job done.
Another 100-yard game next week, young man. Actually, 67 yards will do it. You'll become the 9th player in Wildcat history to rush for 2,000 yards in a career. And this is only your junior year, so I think it's going to come sometime, and next week would be a good time, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir, it would. Yep.
Landon Hill, congratulations. One of the standouts on both sides of the ball. We appreciate you hanging in there with us and doing this. Congratulations. Should be a fun ride home, and good luck. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Landon Hill of the Homer Center Wildcats. Ward Hilliard will check the stats when we return. 45-3. Homer Center wins it. You're listening to the first Commonwealth Base postgame show on the Renda Media Football Network.
Looking for fun for the entire family? White Township Recreation is now the hub for all of your youth and adult recreation programming. Programming is now open online for registration. White Township Rec offers anything from art classes to gymnastics to bowling to boxing, fitness classes, and much, much more. For more information on public skating, including birthday parties and recreation programs, please visit whitetownshiprec.org. That's whitetownshiprec.org. See you at Public Skate, S&T Bank Arena.
Hello, this is John Lefdahl, owner and director of the John A. Lefdahl Funeral Home, wishing the Homer Center Wildcats much success in the upcoming playoffs. It's always an awesome feeling to achieve success, be it in business or in sports. You as players have made our community proud. To be a winner, it takes much dedication, time, and preparation. Give it 100%, and years from now, you'll look back with fond memories of what you have accomplished. Go get 'em, Wildcats. The John A. Leftoff Funeral Home is behind you.
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to
With Ward Hilliard, Mark Burdick back with you in the booth here at Meyersdale. 45-3 Wildcats win it. Good performance by the defense. Offense made some plays. Special teams made plays. Ward Hilliard has all of the numbers that shaped up this 45-3 Wildcat victory. Ward?
Thank you, Mark. For Meyersdale, Dalton Sellers had 9 carries, 18 yards. Malachi Carr 1 for -1. Tristan Euler had 1 carry for 3 yards. Brian Hetz had 3 carries for 12. Total of just 17 rushing attempts, 37 rushing yards. Pretty phenomenal effort by the defense in that regard. Through the air, the Sellers boys threw the ball 27 times, 11 completions, 2 interceptions, 92 yards. 37 yards on the ground, 92 through the air, 129 total yards for the Red Raiders of Meyersdale. For Hummer Center, Riley Clevenger, 14 carries, 120 yards. That included 2 touchdowns. Very good game for Riley. Landon Hill, of course, at 23 carries, 112 yards, and, of course, he went over the 1,000-yard mark there for Landon. Homer ran the ball 45 times, had 275 yards on the ground. Through the air, Clevenger was 2 of 6 with 1 interception for 13 yards. Homer had 275 on the ground, 13 through the air, 288 total offensive yards for the Wildcats in this big win. So it's off to probably Barnesboro next week, huh?
Yeah, it does look that way. Ward, we have some final scores that I'll pass along. These first 2 do not impact Homer Center in the District 6 playoff race. River Valley defeated Everett 41-6. Congratulations to Jess Hauser and the Panthers for their first win. It's been a tough season for them. West Shamokin 41, North Star 35. High-scoring affair there. You always talk about the points that are being scored nowadays.
Well, my goodness, yeah. And we hear reports every Saturday, and there's some really high-scoring games here. But that West Shamokin puts them up there, don't they?
So Homer Center, we knew when to get in. So Homer Center wins easily tonight, 45-3. Then it was going to come down to Glendale and Purchase Line. Purchase Line, pretty good account of themselves, but they got shut out at Bald Eagle 19-0, and they did not get help because Glendale defeated Kerwinsville 49-23. That means Glendale's in, Purchase Line is out.
Well, it's a good effort by the Red Dragons. They really had kind of a unfortunate draw. Even though they won against Homer Center, they had to go up and play Bald Eagle, and that's not an easy assignment.
Other scores impacting District 6 Class A. Juniata Valley comes from behind. They defeat Mount Union 26-22. Big score tonight, West Branch defeated Mo Valley 34-19. So I'm going to step in here and grab my chart and conclude our scoreboard with saying Winber shut out Portage 31-0. World Series, I wanted to pass this along a couple of times. It was 5-0 Astros over the Phillies in the middle part of that ball game. So we know the Appalachian Bowl tomorrow night. Penns Manor's already sewn up the number 1 seed. They have 1,300 points. If they lose tomorrow to Berlin Brothers Valley, it doesn't matter. They'll still host Glendale in what will be a rematch of the playoffs from a year ago at Glendale. We did that game. Yeah. Cambria Heights, they lost tonight, as I just mentioned. Northern Cambria won. The Colts will jump Cambria Heights. That means if Homer Center stays at 7, they will travel to Northern Cambria. Portage lost tonight. They had 830 points. Juniata Valley won. So Juniata Valley defeated Mount Union. That's a 160-point win for Juniata Valley. They're going to jump over Portage into the 4th spot. Mustangs will be 5th. Moshannon Valley, they're going to stay at 670 points with that loss to West Branch. Homer Center is going to pick up 120 points to go to 660. Now power points will come into play. Homer Center maybe will jump Moshannon Valley now that I look at this closer, depending on how many power points Mo Valley would pick up. Mo Valley and Homer Center. Marion Center won last night, so 3 of Homer Center's opponents that won, that they defeated, have won. So that would take Homer Center to a deadlock with 670 with Moshannon Valley without knowing how Moshannon Valley's opponents did. And then, as I mentioned, Glendale will finish 8th. So Homer Center's either going to Northern Cambria or Cambria Heights now that we look at this closer, because that upset of West Branch, which was only 3-6, kind of upset the apple cart in that regard.
Mess things up, so we're going to have to wait till it all sifts out. As I said, a lot of math in that.
No question about it. Hey, we're going to get out of here, make the long trek back home. We want to thank our video producer, John Smathers, for his great work on Renda Digital TV, our radio producer, Michael Burdick, back in Indiana, our spotter in the booth, Dennis Mester, our traveling secretary, Jimmy Sutter. Speaking for Ward Hilliard, Mark Burdick reminding you that the Wildcats, with Landon Hill going over 1,000 yards rushing for this season, a convincing Mercy Rule victory over the Meyersdale Red Raiders. Cats are 5-5, off to Cambria Heights or Northern Cambria for the playoffs next week. Until we talk to you then, 45-3 Wildcats. Good night from Meyersdale.
You've been listening to an Indiana Regional Medical Center high school football.